Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to 3Y TV. And tonight, it's round number 5 of the OSCA Sportsman series, and we are at North Wilkesboro for the Weekend Woodsman Throwback 150 here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. I'm your host, Mike Goodman. Along with me is Matt Dubayuk, and of course, Carlos Acosta behind the scenes running the show here. But Matt, it's a special night here tonight. We got throwback, and I don't know about you, but usually when we have these throwback races, it's kind of like Christmas race cars out here.
Absolutely, and you know, just about every league has adopted this tradition, following in the steps of NASCAR, and it is always such a treat to come out here and see what the designers put together for these special kinds of races. And what better track, what better venue too, as well. North Wilkesboro, one of the most historic short tracks, racetracks at all in NASCAR history, and we get to have our throwback night here at it.
Yeah, as you see on the screen here, some of the throwbacks rolling by in turn number 1. You pick your favorite, see if you can guess them. We'll get through the drivers lineup here once they get done with qualifying, as we got a little bit time left for practice. But yeah, it's you see, I like the unique designs here. You know, you see anything from NASCAR past champions, past legends, to some iRacing legends as well. As again, we'll get into that in just a little bit. It's always a fun little treat here for throwback night. And right now, as you see, Damian Leininger up on top of the leaderboard here in practice. You see the cars kind of breaking loose here in the corner. North Wilkesboro, a relatively flat short track here, but these drivers are going to have their hands full here tonight.
Absolutely. I'm seeing guys up and down the board that have put in already close to 100 laps of practice, and they're still just breaking out loose. I've heard going into the corner it's unsteady, coming out of 4 when they come up over that elevation it's unsteady, just getting on the gas is sketchy. There is no grip here tonight, and that could lead to one of two things. Bristol is chaotic as a short track, but here maybe they'll be racing the track more and it'll be less chaotic, or it could be more chaotic. Either way, no matter how the race is going to go, the driver's going to have their hands full all night.
Yeah, hands full indeed. They are 75 lap halves here tonight. Top 8 will be inverted from half number 1 to half number 2. And Carlos, I don't know if we have the points to show you how they shape
we sure
up.
Do. Here, let me show you the most important points.
Oh yeah, those are the most important points, and look at how
close.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah, we will get back to that in just a moment. But here are the driver standings. Nick Indalcato kind of sailing away with that points lead. Kean Raleigh moves into second place in points. How about Cooper Johnson, the rookie, in third? So, this could be a track here, too, for a guy like Indalcato, right now being 5th in this practice standing. So if he lays down, say if he messes up, slips up in qualifying, starts in the back of the pack, and that's usually when a lot of the accordion kind of ruffled feathers happen. So, a guy like Indalcato's just got to hope, or a lot of these guys just got to hope to survive through the night.
Absolutely, and with slipping back to the back for whatever reason, flat tracks, track position's important. Short tracks, track position's important. But flat short tracks, track position is even more important. So I'm not going to say that qualifying will decide who wins the race, but I will say it's going to be very important. And on that note, I do want to kick a little statistic here. I was digging through all the past short track results. Our last 3 short track events, one man has swept each one. And by that I mean 2022A Iowa, Damian Leininger won both races. 2022A Bristol, Kean Raleigh won both races. And then a few weeks ago at Bristol this season, Nick Indalcato won both races. So the half 1 winner is not guaranteed to be the half 2 winner, but the trends show having that track position and at the very worst being at the bottom of the invert is good.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out here tonight. Again, only 8 cars inverting, so if you do win half number 1, still not that much traffic to get through, but definitely could mix things up as we see some cars. There's Adam Tepe and his 96 throwbacks. I was going to say, should we say what the throwbacks are right away, or do we just wait until we do it in the driver's lineup? Okay.
Yeah.
Although there's the one stinker out on the track that does not have a throwback.
We got a couple. Also, if we say it while we're
couple.
doing the grid, that's gonna take hours.
Well, we're not doing the hometown, or we're not doing the other stuff. We're just doing the throwback.
Tonight, we don't give a damn where you're from.
No, or your race team.
Yep, we just care about who you're throwing it back to.
Exactly. Exactly.
And there's got to be one of the favorites. There's Zach Evans in that 6 car, and the old Mark Martin throwback. That's a pretty neat machine there for the Me Fine Ford. Hopefully, he'll be fine tonight. Oh,
I think he will be. I was talking to him before the race. He said this is by far one of his favorite short tracks, and he's had success here in the past.
Well, so much success. He was even there last night covering it for Racing America. So he even knows what this track looks like in person. So that had to be quite a treat to check that out last night. See Dale Jr. run in that sun drop throwback scheme of his own.
I know. What a loser. He couldn't even get the win.
I know, right?
Wow. Okay.
Are you making fun of old people, Carlos?
I'm making fun of you, Goody.
Okay, that's fair.
Goodness gracious.
I'll take it. And here's one of the very special throwbacks here tonight. You see the 11 of Kean Rally throwing it back to Dallas Myhand. Kind of a neat thing that Shift Esports done here tonight. And he did throw it to the pole. Flashbacks of a young Dallas Myhand taking a pole here at North Wilkesboro. I don't even know if Dallas Myhand's ever won a pole here, but
he hasn't.
Well, maybe not in OSCA.
Oh. Yeah. Never know. He could have ran like a late night, official race or something. But
Wow.
See another throwback to Mark Martin.
I did want to say, with just a couple minutes left before we get into announcing all the throwbacks, we want to go ahead and put our picks in.
Oh yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
That would be Carlos first. It's a real mystery as to who he's picking.
Oh boy.
Right. I know everybody's yelling at me to pick the most obvious winner, pick the one who's dominating the field, but I gotta say no. I gotta pick in who I believe in, and the person I believe is a dark horse tonight. I'm gonna pick none other than everyone's favorite, Caden Tufts, to get this first half win.
I was thinking about that. That's a good pick. I like that.
That was my dark horse as well. Awesome. Love it.
I'm a fan of the Caden Tufts pick. That's really who I was going to go first. But that's not the
I beat him twice.
Wow.
All right. Well, if you're going to go Caden Tufts, I'm going to take the man who has always been good. This guy's been around since season 1, and every short track we've ever gone to, Vincent Isabella has always been a force on the short tracks. There goes who would have been somebody's pick, maybe. But I'll take Vincent Isabella here for the first half.
Well, you know what? I feel like we got to go kind of wild here. I got to stick with the trends. And you know what? I know maybe the statistics don't back it up so much, but yes, the guy who just saw wreck on screen, I'm going with the short track kid. I'm going with Austin Beers.
And I can tell you as insurance, Austin Beers before the race told me that his only expectation is win, and this is his favorite track, and he fully expects to win tonight.
I feel like it would be justice for Austin Beers to get off the schneid with this pick, and then Damian Leininger not win because I did not pick him.
Or he wins because you did not pick him.
Because nobody picked him.
No. We don't want justice for Damian.
Oh, okay. No justice. Well, he's starting fourth. He might make his own justice.
Yeah, he might have a play in his own justice. But we'll get through the drivers lineup here in just a second. And on the pole is that 11 car of Kean Rally, throwing it back to a 2019 Dallas Myhand Emo Sim Sports Flame, and alongside of him, do you have the? Or am I too early here?
Calm down. You're too early, dude.
I'm way too early.
He's ready to get to it.
I'm so excited for these throwbacks. I love it. But anyway, alongside of him, in the 83 is Vincent Isabella running the 1999 Michael Waltrip Busch Series throwback.
Starting in the Third position is Nick Indelicato to a 2019 Dallas My Hand DMI throwback back in his earlier days. To his outside, Damian Leininger running a 2010 Carl Edwards Cup Series throwback.
Gotta love that. And actually I don't love that, but anyway, in the 00, Kate Tubbs running in this is one I do love, the 1987 Davey Allison Cup Series throwback. That's about 90 years before Caden was born. And alongside him, Cameron Rich running in the Dale Jr. 1993 late model that we just seen at North Wilkesboro yesterday. It's pretty cool.
Starting in the 7th spot is Austin Beers in the 1985 Richie Evans Modified Series throwback. And then the 03 Dylan Thomas running the 1991 Michael Waltrip Cup Series throwback.
And the next row in the 9th spot is Dallas Myhand, the man himself, running his 2018 Dallas Myhand 715 Sim Racing Ford. Whoop, whoop, Wisconsin, baby. And alongside him is Zach Evans in that 6th machine running the 1981 Mark Martin Cup Series throwback.
Bringing up row 6, starting 11th, here is the 99 of Gilberto Javier Gomera running a 2019 Dallas Myhand Eagle Sim Sport throwback when he was with that Eagle team. Cooper Johnson to his outside, starting 12th. Cooper running a one of my personal favorites in the field, a 2004 Jeremy Mayfield throwback from the Cup Series.
Not
that's
pretty.
That's pretty neat. In this 13th position is Zach Scott Nicky driving the 1997 Mike Stefanik Busch Series North Series throwback, like that one. And alongside him in the 89 is Zach Rogers running the 1999 Bobby Hamilton Jr. Busch Series throwback.
Starting 15th, Timothy Conrad running one of the mini Dale Earnhardt Jr. Cup Series throwbacks, this one from 2003. To his outside, Ty McIntosh running yet again another Dallas Myhand throwback, his Evo Sim Sports debut car from 2019.
Next in the 17th position is Dustin Dewar. He's doing a little hunka burnin' love in the Elvis Dale Jr. throwback from 2007. And alongside we have the party pooper. It's John Lynch in his in-law racing no throwback Chevrolet.
Starting 19th is Seth Rawls and
non-throwback.
Oh,
what? Uh-oh.
The judges do not like.
All right, go.
Starting 19th, the number 25 of Seth Rawls and a 2020 Dallas Myhand Evo ending throwback. I believe that just means late in the running of that team. To his outside, Adam Peeler in the 1999 Mark Martin Busch Series throwback.
I like that one. That's pretty cool. And in the 21st position, in the number 80, it's Ray Bracey. He's throwing it back to 1996 Jeff Gordon Cup Series scheme. And alongside him, I love this one as well, Robert Hill Jr., the Canuck, in the 05. And he is throwing it back to Ron Fellows in the 2000 Busch Series scheme.
Starting 23rd, if you have seen any OSCA races over the last few seasons, you'll probably recognize this one. Kynan Jones running the 2021 Johnny Eckert OSCA Championship throwback. To his outside, the 39 of Jordan Tarble and a David Green Busch Series throwback from 2000.
In 25th, we have Neil Rutt III in his 66 Toyota, and he is running a 1984 Rusty Wallace. Kind of looks like an ASA scheme, kind of like that one. And alongside him in the 26th spot is that 5 car of Cody McLean, and he's running a 2014 throwback of Danica Patrick in the Cup Series.
Bringing it up more towards the rear of the field in 27th is Thomas Capiana running a, God help me, I say this right, 2020 Stephen Kopsick SK Modified throwback. To his outside, David Westergreen and one of the other many Dale Earnhardt Jr. throwbacks, the Busch Series car of his from 1999.
In the 29th position is the 16 of Chris Gutierrez, and he's in the 2009 Mark Martin Cup Series throwback. And one of my personal heartfelt favorites alongside of him is the 71 of David Carpenter in that 1996 Dave Marcus throwback.
In row 16, Alex Kenton starting 31st. Alex Kenton running a 2002 Stuart Kirby throwback from the Busch Series. To his outside, Adam Tepe in the 96, hoping for some good runs tonight, running the 1999 Mike McLaughlin Busch Series throwback.
And rounding out the field in the 33rd position is Aaron Lineman in the 72, and he's running the 2003 Mark Martin throwback. Kind of a cool looking car there as well. And we nailed it, and the green flag is out. We are racing here at North Wilkesboro. Kean Rally with the early lead alongside Vincent Isabella as they drive through 1 and 2.
So far, very slow and steady as the field's going to stack up throughout the back. Everybody's snaking around here just trying to keep their nose clean to start this one off.
Yeah, you get that. You got to kind of just tiptoe maybe a little bit at first, but I'm sure their confidence, the grip level might pick up. The need the pressure to get up towards the front. I'm sure at some point we're going to see some contact. And one thing I do like about North Wilkesboro, on that very inside where you see Vincent hugging right on that curb almost, that's kind of the flatter part of the track. And then the banking kind of significantly increases in that second groove. So the outside line could definitely get going, and passes can be made on the top side by the end of the night.
Caution,
It's one of
Caution yellow.
Oh, caution.
Patrick.
Who do we have?
Oh,
Can't
we
really
got
tell.
Green.
McLean, Westergreen's in the grass right now. Let's take a look at the replay and see what happened to bring out yellow number 1. For the weekend's Woodman throwback 150. Ooh, too much rear brake going into the corner. Did the hospital hop? What? Ooh, Westergreen might have even made it without contact there.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a little bit of tensions here. He's got a little bit of contact. He is rubbing up against the door of Cody McLean under this caution. He's already not happy.
We'll pull that up.
So, and that's another thing that, we can be said about short tracks. Oh! Westergreen and Gutierrez almost getting together.
Oh, there was
just
contact.
trying to drive it too deep. Oh, yep, there was a little bit of contact.
Yeah, if there's any silver lining, they were probably only going about 70 miles an hour. That's not going to hamper him that bad.
And that's the thing. I think we also said this back at Bristol, and maybe something that has to kind of pay for it anytime we go to a short track. Any iRacing league goes to a short track, and there's the door rub there, showing his displeasure. Made him disappear for a second. That was a...
I'm just keeping everybody aware. I've stayed panned on David's car. He just gave Cody an additional bump.
So he's not quite letting it go. Which brings me to my point. You got to check those feelings at the gate once you walk into this racetrack. It's stuff like that's going to happen. And I think if you let it brew that long, the only thing it's going to do is maybe make you drive a little less to what your ability is, and maybe drive either too aggressively or put yourself in a bad spot. So, it's early in the race, lap 6 of 75, still a lot of racing to go. So hopefully cooler heads do prevail once we get going back green flag racing.
And everybody seems to do everybody seems to understand. Bristol, here's the thing for me. Bristol is a track that people are a little bit more used to. Everybody's going to go in there guns blazing. Here, people don't run this quite as much as they run Bristol. And I think everybody's going to be doing a lot better job racing the track and being mindful of just how treacherous it is. And I think aside from Cody losing traction there, we saw that. Everybody was minding each other's business.
Yeah, and definitely getting a little bit of a feel. They had the hour practice here before the race. Hopefully they get a feel for it. We can get some good green flag action throughout the night. But alas, the pace truck is diving down pit road. We're going to take the green flag here on lap number 8. And what a jump by Kean Rally. Vintage Dallas Myhan blazing his way to the lead. And Damian Leininger, nobody picked him. He's going to rocket up to the second position. I think he knows right now he hasn't been picked by any of us.
Oh, of course. He's going to do really good now that he knows he hasn't been picked.
Oh, but now he has the internet gremlins. And there you see the standings going into a half number 1. And it's going to be tight. It could be a very tight, season championship here throughout the season. Do we have a playoff too?
Oh, Damian's shooting up the track there.
Not a playoff, a chase. There's a chase.
Oh, just
how would a playoff even work, Goody?
I don't know.
We got trouble on the front stretch.
Oh, caution is out.
Had a spinner down towards the inside
wall.
And I think kind of Jones also lost a lot of track position. I don't know if anything happened to the 73 car. He might have been involved here.
He's behind it, so maybe perhaps avoiding it somehow.
Ooh, I think I think with Peeler there, too much beans, and he might have had just a little bit too much wheel up, and there ground goes Kynan as well as the caution came up.
Was that before or after the yellow?
This is after the caution.
After the yellow.
Interesting.
So that almost tells me there for the 73, maybe a little bit too much rear brake, blowing up for the caution. Never been in that scenario ever before.
I have.
Wink, wink. Yeah, I do it all the time. But as far as Peeler there, it almost appeared that he was trying to keep off the 32 of Dustin Dewar and had just a little bit too much wheel as he was getting back to the gas. I think that's kind of what set his car around. But that will bring our second caution here of the night here on lap number 12. And
you know, I was
go ahead.
Before the moment passes, you know, that's a bit of a throwback in itself. It wasn't for a caution, but under a pacing period caution condition. I believe back when we were with the trucks, Johnny Eckert did actually spin himself out rolling off the grid one time.
Oh yeah, Carlos, do you have a clip of that?
Yeah. Yeah. How do I pull it up? I did not have. I should have added this. How did I not prepare for this?
You got already.
Keep on vamping.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, one of the legendary moments in the sport, and you know, I think throwback to it. I think it was right in front of Vince Isabel, or not Vince Isabel.
In front of me.
I believe. Was it in front of you? Was it Leininger up there as well?
Leininger was up there too, but he came right across my nose. I almost hit him. That's why I remember it so vividly. Oh, there it is. That's fairly iconic.
And the sad thing is, I think didn't he still either win or finish in the.
He won. He
won.
He had the audacity to call me out and go like, "I'm glad we didn't get that on the broadcast." And I'm like, "Oh, are you now?"
Yes, we did.
Yeah. That lesson learned there for Johnny Eckert if he's out there watching. Nice little throwback to him. That's probably the best way you can attribute that man for sure. But we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here on lap number 15 as the field doubles up. I thought the caution lights were out, but
I thought it was too.
Yeah, wow. They did a really good job forming up. Okay. Oh, there's the lights are off. Field already doubled up. They're already used to being double filed up here tonight. Let's see if anyone has anything for Kian Raleigh starting on that inside line. That last restart, he got a heck of a jump. Let's see if Damien or even Vincent Isabella on that inside of row number 2 can get a run with them. We're about to find out. So it'll be lap 16. We will go back to green flag racing. Pace truck diving down pit road. Green flag is out.
Ooh, Vincent, a little squirrely there off the jump.
Wheel spin for the 83. Austin Beer shoots to the outside as Cameron Rich shoots the outside, moves in that third position. And, I'm still surprised that 15 car wasn't picked by Carlos.
I know. I think maybe he was just going against the status quo. It's the guy he usually picks. Maybe it's throwback night. He was doing something different.
Listen, if I was second or first in the points, maybe. Yeah, I would say risk it. Let Cam have it for once. But I gotta do something to break out of the enormous. 83's going around.
It's on.
Vincent.
Got into Austin Beers. Took a couple guys with him. It looks like.
Little teammate action. Oh man, Carpenter almost getting into the end of pit road. And I believe that's the second time even tonight between the strictly stock race and here in the Sportsman series that these two guys got together. And I think it's both scenarios. It's just been a case of tight short track race. It looks like Vince came in just a little hot on that bottom side, washed up.
Wow, I'm amazed. That was not bigger than it was.
Yeah, these guys doing a great job here tonight. Not getting all this is the onboard of Vincent
Dave Carpenter.
Carpenter, watch how close he gets to hit the pit wall. Ugh.
Oh
boy! Oh boy!
Honestly, I might have I probably would have just bailed down pit road. I'm surprised he threaded the needle there.
Yeah, that was a risky move.
Well, I mean, you are washed.
I am washed. I'm washed. I am washed. Don't forget that.
Remember when you used to be good?
Those were the days. Never.
Those were, you know, what my saying always is, you can never be washed when you're never good to begin with. So that was my strategy
Very
this
true.
whole time. Yep. Yeah.
I
can never be
used to hang
disappointed.
out there. I used to hang out there in the back with the has-beens and everwears. That was me.
Yeah. I got to know him really well. Yeah. So Keenan Rowley still your leader. Damian Lanninger in second position. Now Cameron Rich after that tuffle is in third. How about Caden Tufts in that 0-0 Davey Allison throwback in the fourth spot? But we've got the short track kid of Austin Beers running at the top 5. But Nick Mercado, he started up towards the front, dropped a few spots in that 6th position, but still trying to hang in there. And I think for a lot of it, for these guys, especially the way this race has been trending right now, it just a lot of it depends on what I think row you start in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, with lanes and everything. And then even then, that's variable because you have instances where, maybe your line gets a good jump on the restart, but somebody up there for a couple of rows up has a moment. We already had plenty of guys up in the top 10 have moments. And everybody's got to check up and move to miss them.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be an issue here at the tight track of North Wilkesboro. But since we're early on in the going here, I'm going to try to see who has been the guy that's moved up the most spots here so far. And I think right now that would go to that 16 car of Carissa Gutierrez in that Mark Martin throwback. He started all the way back in the 29th position. He's currently moved up into the 20th position, as I believe. Is this fool's goal? Is this real? We're going green.
We're going green for real.
We're going green for real, and green flag is out. Caught me napping there. As Rowley gets a good jump on Damian and Cameron Rich. Maybe not as good as the previous two.
No, they kept a little bit closer to him this time, but the only difference is Kean's allowed to use the whole track to track up. They are all still side by side. Not for long. It doesn't look. It looks like Cameron's actually going to get clear here.
Yeah, Cameron
maybe not.
Really. Ooh, yeah. It's a war here of what line you can get running here. Damian's trying to hang on. Looks like he's lost a little bit on the rear tires. That's going to allow Cameron Rich to clear, move into that 2nd spot. Here comes the short track kid. How about Carlos's underdog pick, that young buck of Caden Tufts?
Yeah, Caden holding strong here. I'm really impressed by that. Caden's showing. Whoa, Austin Beers!
3
sliding up.
That's
He's
caution.
around. He's around.
Boy.
He's spun.
So for the Beers Motorsports Toyotas, between the 19 and the 83 having a little bit rough go. And, well, you know what that means, Matthew. Our picks have a little bit rough go of it. And here's Carlos just sitting there in 4th, making that gap.
It's too early. I mean, I hate to bring it up, but Goody, you were in prime contention for a top 8 finish. And then we had one more caution.
Yeah, that's true. In the Strictly Stock Series, definitely things can turn around quick here as Vincent Isabella. Oh boy, maybe team communication and maybe in Discord needs to pick up a little bit, almost making contact after the yellow went out.
No one's really safe here, are they? That's too. Not just, Beers Motorsports is strong, not just the fact they're teammates, but in general, 2 heavy hitters and everywhere we go, and especially at short tracks here. It seems usually tracks are a little bit more clear cut and dry. There's so much character to this track and so many different nuances. You're constantly adapting to everything, and even a guy who knows short tracks as good as Vincent Isabella or Austin Beers, it doesn't matter where you go, you're never safe.
Yeah, never safe indeed. And now they're really going to be put in a tough spot. I believe Vincent went 2 laps down. Now he's back on the lead lap. Got 2 wave arounds his previous cautions. Well, maybe now he's only 1 lap down.
No, Vince is 1 lap down now.
Now he's 1 lap down.
I mean, he'll probably get the lap back at the rate it's going right now.
Yeah, he should get it back before this end of this race. But either way, Austin Beers and Vincent are going to be starting in the back of the pack. And we talked about how hard that's going to be to try not only to pass these cars, because we've seen them 2 wide, 3 wide even in some instances in the back of the pack. It's going to be hard to work your way up through the field, and it's going to be interesting as fuel is not going to play a factor in these 75 lap halves.
No.
And I don't know how much tires are going to be a factor, especially right now with the limited green flag laps that we ran.
Now, they do wear, but if you have enough cautions in the first half of a race, it's just hard to justify sacrificing all your track position late in the race for tires when, realistically, once we get up further towards the front of the pack, the biggest movers are Cooper Johnson from 12th to 6th, but Cooper has a lot of right side damage, and that's just an example. You look in this top 10, there's not a whole lot of movement. So if you think you're going to get a whole lot of movement from the back of the pack at the end of the race in traffic, it's just there just might not be enough wear on the tires to make it even worth it.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough kind of string to pull there as we double up and get the one to go. And now Cameron Rich kind of seems like the person in that second position might not have the best luck. Hopefully it's not a curse for that 15 car, that beautiful sun drop machine for Cameron Rich. As we dive into turn 3 and 4, get the green flag back out here. When we come to lap number 31, pace truck gonna dive down pit road. And the weekend's Woodsman's throwback 150 underway once again as Kean Rally gets a good jump. Clears both of them, both Cameron Rich and Damian Leininger as they battle side by side for that second spot. Now they flop it, and Cameron Rich getting a good run on that outside. He's really getting that outside line moving.
Oh!
Cameron, oh goodness, Damian saves it.
See, if we would have picked him, he probably would have spun there, but he's able to hang on, but he drops right battling now.
Caution, wreck in the back.
Caution is up.
Oh, we're talking the back-to-back, huh?
Oh, we got Peeler in the 13. He's missing a rear bumper. And I think John Lynch in the 86 was the other car that was involved in that wreck as well.
Ooh.
Lynch, oh, and a bad angle. And
wow. Whoa, Vincent! Oh, Vincent had to get the wall there. Or was that Vincent? No, who was that?
That was Vincent in the 83.
Who barely got by that and got the wall to miss it?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. The 40.
Somebody barely squeaked by. Yeah, I think he barely squeaked by. I don't think he got the wall that much.
Oh, he did. He did get the wall, but not that hard.
Ooh.
Not that hard. That was almost a lot worse.
Let's see if we can find him. That's Scott Nicky.
That's Scott Nicky.
Scott Nicky in the Mike Stefanik throwback there. Gotta love that. NASCAR Hall of Famer.
We've seen 2 accidents come out of the top 10, and now here's one almost last. I mean, you'll probably hear it a few more times. You've already heard it a few times from me already. You're probably going to get sick of hearing me say it, but you're not safe anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a safe part on that track, and I think what we saw in that last wreck as well, Matt, was you saw Lynch get loose coming out of turn number 4, and he kind of washed down the track, and I think when Peeler got by him, he had kind of assumed going into turn number 1 that he was going to be clear of that 86 by the time he went down, and just kind of just a misjudge, and it's just one of those things that again, it's just kind of, you know, as Joey, or I guess Denny Hamlin said, that mocking Joey Logano, that's just short track racing.
Yeah. it all happens so fast here. If you have a big moment coming off a corner and you get it saved, and then you look up and it's time to enter the next corner, everything just happens so quickly. It's not like a big track where if you have to save the car, okay, we have a straightaway to find a gap, get in line, you know. No, it's bam, 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 constant.
Yeah, it's sometimes, you know, Lynch might not even had his car 100% saved even at that point going into turn 1.
I will say, I think it's been less destructive than Bristol. We've probably had a similar amount of accidents, but no parking lots, and I'm seeing a lot more clean race cars halfway through the first half at this point.
Yeah, I think Peeler's, you know, missing a rear bumper is probably the most damaged a car it has been so far here in half number 1.
And just so we are aware of the situation, Vincent Isabella is back on pit road. He's going to lose another lap here, it looks like. He got waved around. He's back on pit road, I'm assuming to fix more damage, taking the extra lap down.
Yes, something might be a little bit more seriously wrong with the 83 car of Vincent Isabella. So just getting on the lead lap, but still going to be in position to get that lap back next time we do get a caution. As We'll get the green flag once again here on lap 38 coming to. This pace car dives down pit road. Kean Rally gets the green flag. It is out. Another good jump for the 11. Cameron Rich trying to hold tight on the outside.
Sails it deep in there.
He sailed it deep because he's got Caden Tufts in that third spot running that bottom side. And we have a caution.
Caution on the racetrack.
And that
No lazy spin.
Was that just a lazy spin there?
Yeah, it's a little lazy Alex Kenton spin there.
I believe that was that Kenton there in the 14?
Yes.
I think so. It looked like it.
Some of these cars just getting used to the regular paint schemes. Not gonna get used to the throwbacks here.
Oh!
Ooh. Oh, whoa.
Oh, maybe it wasn't so lazy after all.
Maybe it was a little bit more exciting than we thought initially, wasn't it?
It was wild. Looked like it could have been worse there. Getting in the back of Carpenter. See, look at the big damage on the 71
Oh, yeah,
machine.
that was by himself.
Ooh.
It was by himself after getting in the back of the 71, entering turns 1 and 2.
Did Beers there slam into the back of Kynan?
Yes, he did. And that was a pretty
He's
hard
on pit
hit,
road
too.
now, actually, fixing damage. He's on pit road fixing damage right now, actually. He hit pretty good.
It was a hard hit.
So, you know, with some of those cars, even like Kenton in that 14, getting in the back of 71, you know, we haven't really gotten probably enough green flag laps to really maybe worry about this. But even with that damage to Beers as well on pit road, see if he stays on the lead lap. Is he off pit road, Kenton?
I think he's still on there. No, he's off pit road. He's out.
He's off pit road, so he'll stay on the lead lap. But with that damage, you know, it might not be much damage, you know, cosmetically, but maybe once they get going back to green, would that be an issue as far as maybe blowing the motor, getting those temps too high?
We're gonna find out. From what I can tell, these things you'll go down on power before seeing temperature issues, and it was a pretty hard hit because of speed difference. But again, they're coming off the corner; they're not really going all that fast. I think you can take some damage to the nose and survive because horsepower, it's important for getting off the corner, but you're not making it much further than 115, maybe 120 miles an hour if I had to estimate. So you can afford to lose some power. You can afford to have some heavy hits on the front end. It's certainly not going to help you, but it's not going to completely ruin your race.
Yeah, sometimes even if you do lose a little bit of that power, sometimes you can drive the car a little bit different, kind of make up the difference, probably drive in a little bit deeper into the corner, and your lap times will probably even be a little bit similar. Sometimes I've seen guys even make it go faster.
It's easier to get off the corner.
Yeah, you're not you're not slipping and sliding. I've done that at New Hampshire a couple times. I was actually glad that I lost some horsepower there a time or two. Maybe that's the case here as well, as I believe the lights are out, field doubling up. We'll get going back to green flag racing once we hit lap lucky number 44. Hopefully that's lucky for some green flag runs. I'm sure there's a lot of guys, especially probably from second, probably all the way back to 33rd, that would like to see a few more green flag laps so they can charge their way through this field.
For sure, and if we, like you said, if we get some green flag laps, we might see it. Here we go. Oh, they're stacking up on the inside. They're playing bumper cars. Lots of contact.
Oh, contact. Damien almost getting shot down to the inside wall, able to keep it going as we go back to green flag racing. And that battle once again for second between the 00 of Caden Tufts and Cameron Rich on the outside in that green, number 15. You see how stacked up it gets here in the back of the pack as well.
We did, especially with Dylan Thomas got wicked sideways off the corner there, and we had quite a bit of three-wide stacking things up from about 7th on back. They're getting sorted out now, but if you look even further back in the field, you've got our multicam here. It is an absolute battle everywhere you look.
Yeah, a dogfight indeed. Not a lot of these guys. Ooh, as Capuano getting right on the back bumper of the 32 of Dustin Dewar. Adam Tepe, who started almost shotgun in the field trying to work his way up. And there we do see our weekly view of Zach Evans, the beautiful man that is Zach Evans, running this racetrack, running in the 13th position.
What is that?
Oh, that's us.
That's the broadcast.
Oh.
I saw him setting it up on his Xbox One or whatever it is. He was manually putting in 3-wide TV. I saw him doing that.
Austin.
Trouble!
Oh,
Oh, it's a big one. A big one.
Kynan Jones. Neil Rutt involved. Oh, Peeler nowhere to go. That will bring out our 7th caution. That one, yeah, we have a little bit more damage here.
Looked like Ray Bracey was against the wall up top, and I don't know if Tarble knew he was there. It started up there with the Jeff Gordon throwback.
Yep, and I think exactly as you said, it looked like that was the case. Oh, and Neil Rutt coming up the track. Peeler nowhere to go. As Peeler, who started off this season with some hot runs at Daytona. I believe Bristol even had some strong runs there as well, at least one half. Oh, man. Oh, and Carpenter. Peeler. So the other thing is Carpenter, where he got hit. I got to wonder if that's going to bring suspension damage. It was almost right in the left front tire of Dave Carpenter.
Man, I was looking at Scott Nicky once again. If you go look at Scott Nicky's camera in the 44 car, he's barely going to nudge somebody with his front end, but he gets on the brakes hard, and he's going to escape with almost 0 damage from this one. Check this out.
That's nothing.
He's fine. He did it all at the same speed. He's seen it all.
Oh, and he dodged, but Rutt
Hold on.
Kynan Jones.
I want to go back on board of the, I think it was Peeler who we saw? No, may not have been. It was Kenton. Because there's a car that just zooms on by, like all the cars are wrecking. I want to see who it is. Oh, it was up ahead. It was that white car in front of Kenton.
Oh, it's the throwback boo-boo of John Lynch.
Kenton did a good job bobbing the
Lynch.
Yeah, it was a real good job. Just throttles.
He did not back off the throttle until he started passing the other drivers.
And you know what? And that's almost exactly what he had to do. You know, a lot of times they'll tell you, just hit the brakes. And I think it could have been worse for him if he would have hit the brakes.
That's a dangerous game, though, because then you could be playing with a possible penalty for not backing off. But I think it worked out for him.
Yeah, it's a fine line, definitely, for sure.
Sometimes, you know, ideally you slow up and the wreck kind of dissolves before you get there. Sometimes if you slow up and maybe you don't slow up quite enough, you actually drive yourself into the wreck and it happens right on top of you. Sometimes in that case, you got to hit the gas and go and speed out of it. But in that case, that was definitely a bit of a gamble to throttle it in there. And hey, it paid off for him there.
Yeah, it's definitely worked out as we get ready to go back to green flag racing once again. We'll have 23 laps to go here in half number 1. Again, top 8 will invert in half number 2 as the pace truck dives down pit road. Keenan Rally, wrong Kynan, Kean, takes the lead once again. I had to do it at least once in a broadcast. As everything kind of single file up front pretty good as Cameron Rich dives down on the inside and takes that second spot.
Yeah,
right now, seems like it calmed down a bit.
Fairly tame, at least up front, as in Delgado and Leininger sorted out there. Our top 6 cars all single file. And other than that, it's fairly sparse out through the top 15. We've got a spinner in the back.
No caution.
Okay, stay on the grass. Nice save.
He keeps it rolling here. He'll be okay. All right, we're still going. 22 to go. 21 to go.
21 to go, and we're on board once again of Zach Evans. Right now, currently in that 17th position, and that's probably about as thick as the field is right now. Oh boy, getting a little squirrely there out of the corner. Got a lot of guys he's battling with right ahead of him. You see that 89 of Zach Rogers, that Bobby Hamilton Jr. throwback, got a lot of damage on his machine as well. And he's battling Dustin Dewar in that 32. So there's still a little bit of battling here in the back of the pack. See how much work Evans is doing on that wheel as well.
Tell you right now. By the way, I've just Wester Green.
Oh,
ouch.
Oh man, yep. I was just gonna say we've seen how he reacted after the first incident.
Oh,
might be a little bit upset.
No, because he tried to not enter pit road. That's why it was so sharp.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I forgot what I was doing. There you go.
I think, see if
Uh-oh.
Lynch
I
on
like
the
the way this-
bottom. Was that netcode?
I think that, I don't know if there was entire contact there. That might have
Yeah.
Oh,
might have
wait,
been
there was
some space.
contact after it.
Yeah, there's that contact
Oh.
between.
Ooh.
That second one looked incidental, but I think the first one might have been a little bit of frustration.
So here we go. We'll get a view here of it now.
And
Oh,
that's a great
That
run.
was definitely
Oh, no.
contact regardless.
Yeah.
And it just looked like two drivers, and
Oh,
to me, I can't put blame on either driver. I mean, you know, in Lynch's mind, he had that bottom line, and Westergreen, you know, he's trying to defend his position as well. I think that's just typical short track racing.
Short track racing, Mr. Joey Logano there. And, you know, now we're really getting into the late stages of this race. I have to wonder, do you think some of these guys up front start getting a little bit more desperate?
You know, you got to wonder, because especially that last restart was, you know, when the top 10, that was probably the tamest we've seen it all night so far. And maybe, I don't know why that shot kind of cracks me up a little bit.
oh, there was contact again.
That second one, I think, was, as you said, hit Westergreen, and I don't know if he knew Lynch was going. The first one was kind of funny. But anyway, these guys in the top 10, yeah, I think you got to make aggressive moves, and especially I think that with that battle for that second spot between Cameron Rich and Caden Tufts, that could get real interesting. And maybe even for Cameron Rich, maybe gambling a little bit on these restarts to just try to see if he can time it out a little bit better. So we might see penalties, we might see wrecks. Definitely, I don't think the fireworks are over yet.
I know one thing you'll see is Kean Raleigh, the driver of that 11 car. I get a little bit of extra insight for the shift guys, so I can tell you he is extremely, extremely hungry for that first win. He's had some close calls. I mean, if you recall just a week ago, that first half at Spa where he led all the laps at the start and then had the pit exit penalty, and that ruined his night. And here's another one. You know, despite the cautions, he's defended all the restarts. He's defended all the challenges. He's led all the laps so far. Just 15 to go. He is really sick of losing at this point, and he was hoping to win earlier in the season. I really think it could get very aggressive if guys like Tufts or Rich or Delicato start to mount a charge against him here late.
Yeah, it could be interesting to see how this plays out. There could be a lot of dive bombs, a lot of blocking. Things could get exciting once we get these cars wound up, as the pace truck will get ready to dive down pit road. Only 13 laps to go once we get the green flag. See if Cameron Rich on that outside, green flag is out. Cameron did about as best as he could. And now Caden on the inside. This is as close as we've seen these guys to the leaders going in, or the leader going into one. But Kean, again, being able to use up, or Kean, mixing names up here, able to use that whole track. He kind of was able to pull away just a little bit.
Caden Tufts is going to clear Cameron Rich off the corner here.
How about this? And maybe if we get some green flag laps in, that young buck, only 14 years old. Oh, man, Dylan Thomas hard in the outside wall.
I'm not sure what initiated it, but he did overcorrect into that wall, and there was oncoming traffic, plenty of it.
Yeah, and you see some damage to the rear bumper. I don't know if that happened before, if that's what kind of let him get the outside wall.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Looks like Gilberto might have helped that out. Conrad got the worst of it. Conrad and Thomas for sure.
Ooh, just kidding him in that corner. Oh, and
That's
Conrad
a
nowhere to go.
Moment.
Yep,
Absolutely.
Someone's got a digital souvenir. Is that like an NFT kind of thing? I don't even know how that works.
Are we going to start having OSCA NFTs?
Oh, yeah, I got to.
No.
Oh, man.
I guess not.
That was a hard no, too. I don't think we can talk him into it at this point.
Definitely no 3-way TV NFTs.
Oh, was that netcode between the 99 and the 03?
No, I think he got him a little bit. It looks like he had Tom Capione on his inside. It looked like they were both driving in deep, trying to outbrake each other almost. And maybe Gilberto was a little fixated on that, and the checkup from Dylan Thomas was more than he was expecting.
Yeah,
There was
Dylan.
definite contact.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah, yep. Well, and that's the thing, Dylan Thomas was battling with Seth Rawls for, right battling in the outer edge of the top 10, and right outside the top 10, Gilberto and Capriano were battling there as well. So, and I think that's just the desperation we were talking about going back to that last green flag. But still a few more laps to go here, and I was just thinking before the last restart. I'd really hate to say this, but have we made more than 2 laps of green flag in a row?
We have. We've made a few. I think at the most we've maybe made 6 or 7.
Oh,
but it's not much more than that. I do, now that I have the stage here, I think I want to take this opportunity to point out, Austin Beers is in 11th right now, and that field invert is top 8. Now, you can't sandbag for that invert, but if he does get to start on pole this next half, could be interesting for him.
Yeah, it could be.
That's to 11th now.
Could be in the catbird seat, but again, as these caution laps are winding down, the opportunities to work his way up to the front dwindle a little bit too. And as for Kian, kind of one of the, maybe not a way you'd want to win a race, is mostly pacing around and leading these laps, but definitely this does bode well for him for his chances. But now I don't think we've seen Caden restart on the outside. Let's see if he has anything for Kian and for Caden. Young kid,
rookie.
He could pull like some Ty Gibbs. Road America put the veteran to school in turn 1, just like Ty Gibbs.
He's been extremely sure-handed. I haven't seen anything erratic out of him. He looks really nice and stable up there. I think he might be able to have a say in this.
We'll see if the student becomes the master as we get ready to go back to green flag racing with 6 laps to go. Green flag is out.
Well, a really good restart from Caden.
Good restart for Caden. Try to get that outside run. Don't know if he's going to be able to make it stick. He might. Nope. Kean gets the hold off that lead. Now Caden's going to see some pressure from Rich coming out of turn 4 with 5 laps to go.
And Kean is loving this. He needs these guys in his rearview mirror to battle his lookout. Cooper Johnson is sideways in the entrance of the corner. He saves it.
And everyone's touring the grass a little bit. Everyone.
4 wide, they're going by him.
Oh boy, it gets tight. Yeah, and they make it through. Whew. 3 wide, still there between Westergreen, Thomas, and Johnson.
Delacado's around. Nick and Delacado has spun out. More carnage.
Oh man.
2 separate incidents down in 1 and 2.
Oh man, something had to give, and it certainly did. Robert Hill Jr. around. And a lot of angry drivers after this one. And ooh, the Me Fine car lost a little bit of its Me Fine. I see a hood popped off there in the 6 machine. And this 3 wide battle, I think something had to give at some point. Oh, that didn't even start there.
There was more going on further up the track.
Oh, contact.
Here's this.
Oh, Scott Nicky, Robert Hill make contact.
Wait.
Zach Evans nowhere to go.
This is something else entirely, because the 4, I saw him. It was Nick and Delacado.
I was watching it. And Delacado got in hot, looked like, and just lost it.
And
interesting fact, the caution is actually for the 4 car. Everything else that you see happening,
yeah, that's what we're looking at.
After the caution came out.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So the caution is actually for the 4.
Oh, he crushed his beans entering the corner.
Oh man.
Crushed the beans.
Ooh, and a hard lick there. I didn't quite see who got on the outside.
I think Gilberto had to actually squeeze by the outside on both incidents there and did not get out clean from either of them.
Yeah, tough. Yeah, I think he's missing a few parts on his race car. This is where Me Fine is okay, but not quite as fine as it was before.
Not as fine as he was. Let's see here.
No, he lost a hood.
He's okay.
Another OSCA NFT, a Me Fine hood, available to all you viewers out there. Yeah, he'll be okay.
Me Fine gets their money's worth with this sponsorship, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Did I really say he crushed his beans? Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you did. Exactly
just,
what you did.
Just occurred to me as to what I said.
You too much beans, he crushed his beans.
You know what, Carlos? I don't hate it. I like it.
Is it an evolution or a regression?
Hello, FCC, this is me again.
Speak again. Man, good thing we're not on, CBS Sports Network or something. And just that contact.
Can we underscore something real quick? I just want to point out Nick and Delgado now mired way back in the pack. This is a big opportunity for Kean and, well, I was going to say Cooper. Cooper's back there too, but Kean and some of those other guys up there to cut into that points lead of his.
Yeah, that could be a huge factor. We're only going to get like a green-white checker by the time we get going, and you noted it on the last caution, but look at where that 19 of Austin Beers is now. He's all the way up into the 6th position, so he moved up from 11th to 6th on that restart. So he is a man on a mission right now, and it's nothing set in stone though. Here, boys. Again, with this green-white checkered, I think basically from 1st to 33rd right now, it's going to be aggressive as we get ready to get the green flag. As the pace truck will dive down pit road. Green-white checkered. Here we go. Green flag is out.
Jump by Kean there. He's going to be able to... Oh, Cameron Rich gets in deep there.
Deep see if we can hang on that outside. No one's been able to do it yet. He's been about the closest we've seen.
He's clear of Caden Tubbs. He's going to have a shot at Kean.
Gonna drive it on the inside.
It's a big one. It's a sacker.
Oh, Scott Nicky.
Oh,
getting
the
Quite a few cars involved in that one.
Oh boy,
Oh, they're
Kynan
still
Jones.
wrecking Eckert's car.
Man,
Oh, he backed into him.
Oh boy. Oh, I'm hearing we got to take a look at Vincent. We might have to, if we can, Carlos, look at the 83's in-car camera. I've heard that was a pretty wild one here.
Let's set it up first, because there's a lot of things going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here.
I'm trying to break this down. This is quite the mess. It starts with Scott Nicky here, or Kenton. Kenton, sorry.
Kenton getting squirrely. Ooh, Peeler maybe making some contact. Oh boy. There might be a couple of good onboards to dive into, that's for sure.
You said the
as Vincent Isabella, who was a couple laps down.
Vincent, that's a good onboard.
And he's all worked his way up now to the 14th position. I mean, the car is wrecking below, wrecking high. Sneaks through it. Oh, and he sees Kynan Jones. Hammers that gas, he's home free. And do you see the cartridge behind him? Man, oh man, ooh.
Oh, that's just unfortunate.
Oh, and Kynan Jones just making that rear contact. Throwing it back to team owner, Johnny
look at this,
Eckert.
look at this.
Oh, T-bone.
Oh.
He got T-boned by lineman, which I don't know if you guys are probably way too young. And, I probably am too, but I like to dabble in stupid stuff. And
yeah, we know.
Back in the early 80s, this is the onboard, I believe, of, who's this?
Tarble.
Tarble, yeah, I was saying Tarble.
Conrad. Timothy Conrad was exciting to watch. He gets through all of it.
T-bone.
Yeah, that was an exciting one.
So have you guys ever checked out the NASCAR Sings collection from the early 80s?
Okay, I've heard about that.
Yeah. Richard Childress sings a song about the greatest fear in a racer's life is the crash they call T-bone.
That makes sense.
Yeah. There's some very fun songs to listen to. There's some ones that the greatest fear in a racer's life is the crash they call T-bone. 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 Ooh. There's also the rear end there from Dusty Tour in that 32 machine.
We're about to go green here, and Michael Goodman is giving us live entertainment.
Yeah, that's free entertainment here on 3Y TV. You can only get exclusively here on 3Y television. This is the final attempt at the green-white checker.
This is it, 2 of 2.
2 of 2. So next flag will basically end the race. Can Kean Rally hold on and get the win?
Cameron Rich at his door.
I think the 11 spun his tires a little bit. They're going to be side by side. Going into turn 1. Is Cameron going to get the run on the outside of turn 1?
He's there.
Oh,
They touch.
oh boy, Kean's trying to push him up the racetrack. This is a 4-car battle. I think Kean's going to get it with the white flag coming out. One more lap to go.
Cameron's not going to be happy with that one.
Cameron has a shot at maybe paying him back.
He's on his bumper.
He's on the bumper going to 3. Is it going to happen?
He's going under him. He's going to get slow. He's going to get slit loose.
Side by side coming out of turn number 4. Sideways. Kean Rally holds on to win half number 1.
Cameron Rich doing everything in his power to not spin that car out and get everything. Oh, there's a huge wreck after the line.
Oh man, it looks like Damian Leininger, the curse is still on there for that 12 car, even though no one picked him. But whoo, there's a lot to unpack there in half number 1. Whew.
How did your picks do?
I don't even know.
Mine ended up 11th.
Mine somehow ended up 5th. Nope.
Oh, I guess,
4th. Wow.
Some beers. Wow.
Yeah, Bonnie,
up
you get
fourth,
to go. You get to go first this time.
I get to go first here?
Yeah, you were the
Oh, let's
worst pick.
see.
Yeah.
I was the. Thank you, Carlos. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to go. I'm not gonna. I was gonna go Cameron Rich, but I'm not gonna do that to Carlos. Well, you know what? He had his chance. I'm gonna go Cameron Rich.
Yeah, I had my chance.
I'm gonna go Cameron. I'm gonna go Cameron Rich. I'm gonna go Cameron Rich. He's starting a little bit further back there, but he looked real sporty at the end of that first half.
You know, I'm going to stick with my boy who brought me a top 5 here tonight. I'm sticking with the short track kid, Austin Beers. He did a masterful job working his way up through the field after getting spun around early on in that half. I got to stick with that 19 car.
We've got some interview waiting, by the way.
Yep.
Go ahead,
I'm going to go change it up a little bit. Thank you so much, Caden. You definitely did exactly what I wanted you to do, but I feel like the tides have turned. Leininger's going to get this win.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, I was thinking about it, but I'm too scared, not going to lie. But with that, we'll bring up quickly the winner of half number 1 here, Kian Rally. And Kian, you were looking to get that Schneid, that winless mark off your back, and you finally got it done. And it looked like smooth sailing, but that last restart, I think, had you sweating there a little bit.
I'm glad it's over. Oh my god, dude. I mean, I don't know. I'm happy I won a race. I got nothing else to say about that. I hate that it had to be such a caution-filled one, but I had enough pace to run away from those guys on a green flag run. Just 2 laps after restarts, I sucked, and it was just restart after restart. I made it happen. Finally made it happen after like 6 weeks, so...
And now I think, is that pressure going to be off you here a little bit? Especially you're going to be starting back in that 8th position here in half number 2. What's kind of that strategy? Especially, we didn't see a lot of green flag racing here in half number 1. What's kind of your strategy to either are you just kind of going for a points day, or are you looking to pull that broom out?
Obviously, I'd like to win. Now that the pressure's off, that's going to be a little bit easier for me, I think. But I was talking to Beers in an interview waiting. He started in 7th, and he just could not claw his way up past anybody. So I think it's just going to be a case of keeping the car in one piece. And all the fast guys that were up front at the finish of that race are going to be there again. So as long as I keep the wheels on it, I mean, I won my race. I closed the points gap a significant amount, I'm willing to bet, after what happened there. That's what I wanted to do tonight. So unless I go out there and finish, 25th, 20 laps down, I don't have a lot to complain about. So, I mean, I hate this kind of racetrack. I'm terrible at it. I had to practice for 2 or 3 hours today to even find a little bit of comfort or pace, but obviously it worked. So I'm just going to go out there and try to keep the fenders on it, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, yeah, it's been looking so far so good. We'll see if you can work up in the outer half of that top 10. See if you can work your way up back to the lead. But before we let you get ready for half number 2, any shoutouts you want to give?
Hayden Tufts, dude. Dude was he was the man on restarts. Me and him were working together and coordinating some good stuff there to try to keep me in front. And obviously on the last restart that didn't work because I spun my tires like a goofball. But the sponsors for coming on board, as always, Dynasty, Mohawk Foundation, Sam Dre's Photography, spectacular groups of guys. Seth painted a swath of really cool race cars, throwing back to Dallas in his final season out here. And I think mine looks sick. You can't go wrong with flames. You absolutely cannot go wrong with flames. And they're very clearly fast. So
are you saying flames belong on a race car?
This race car, at least, yeah.
Absolutely, they do.
Oh, that's quite the debate.
Yeah, I think flames definitely belong on a race car, and I don't think
I feel
anyone
like
can
this
say
is a
anything
personal shot at me. I feel like this is a
No,
personal shot.
no.
It is. You gotta be better.
Be better. All right, with that,
I've
I
heard his
think
name called.
we'll let you grid up, and best of luck to you in half number 2.
Thanks, gentlemen. Hopefully I see you on about 75-ish laps.
All right, sounds good. That's Kean Rally, winner of half number 1. We're going to get him down into his team chat as there you see the starting lineup. And how about that? The man, Shift Esports and Shift or S2, the teams are throwing it back to Dallas Myhan. He's going to start on the pole here for half number 2. And Rocket Man himself, Seth Rawls, going to be starting on the outside. And man, your pick, Damian Leininger, there, Carlos in third. We'll have a good shot. You can take a look through the rest of the field, and I think that the big thing, I'm curious to see, especially some of these guys like Westergreen. I think he was racing maybe a little bit angry there in half number 1. Hopefully, he can cool down, work his way up through the field from that 22nd spot. Other guys, Nick Indalcato, I believe, where is he going to be starting back in the 26th position? So yeah, he's got a ways to work up through the field. So there's these guys that we're kind of looking through here in the back of the pack. We've seen Zach Evans have having a decent run there in the top 15 for a good chunk of that race. Hopefully he can get back up there and battle. So it's going to be a thing if we can get some green flag laps, and hopefully these guys can work their way up through the field.
It's possible. Thomas Capiano started 27th, finished 9th with a fairly clean race car that first half. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, it's just staying out of that trouble, and especially not compounding, two bad halves here tonight, as it can easily be done with the short track here at North Wilkesboro. Oh yeah.
And I was talking to some guys before the race. I actually did get some insight into that. Some guys are. I've heard mixed feelings. Some guys were expecting a crazier half 1, and a not as crazy half 2. You can practice all you want, but running a full race is the best experience you get. Some guys were thinking half 1, people are going to get comfortable and they'll drive in over their heads in half 2. So half 1 was pretty dirty. So, I don't know if it can be dirtier than that. I don't want to hold my breath on that, but we'll find out here in a few short seconds.
Yeah, as the pace truck dives down, the man running his last season, we see a lot of his throwbacks. Dallas Myhan takes the green flag, and Rawls getting a good run into turn 1 as well, but there goes Dallas on the inside. See if he can clear his teammate coming out of turn number 2. Looks like he just barely will. Maybe
Free wide here for the lead. It means speaking low. Caution's out.
Caution's out, and saved by the bell. Dallas there, I think that could have been bad. And Lineman and Rudd. And oof.
I was getting pretty exciting there for a second.
Yeah, that if it wasn't gonna happen back here. Oh, Lineman coming.
There?
Oh, I think Lineman got in the wall, got into Westergreen, scrubbed a lot of speed, and Rutt just kind of flew into. I don't think he realized how much speed that 72 was gonna scrub. Take a look at it.
That's exactly what happened. No, you pretty much nailed it right on that. He grabs the wall, comes down, grabs Westergreen, and loses control, and wow, yeah, Rutt comes flying in there.
And again, I think what we've seen from the general majority of these wrecks, Matthew, was some of these have been pretty bad. I think there's going to be quite a bit of damage on that 72, but this definitely could have been another one that was way worse than what it actually was. Oh wow, Indalcato, I got to look at his in-car through this wreck. Here's another one. Here's
Oh my goodness, I have no idea how that wasn't worse than what it actually was. Oh man, I think Zach Evans got tagged at the end. Right up there.
And here's Indalcato. I don't know how he got through this. I didn't think he made contact with anybody here somehow.
No, I thought he was doomed. He and a couple of other guys probably should have been doomed.
Oh, man.
Man. The one cool thing about short track wrecks, we don't want to see these guys wreck and smash them up, but you can see some pretty cool in cars. A guy's just barely squeaking by.
Yeah, it
makes for good TV.
And like sometimes I've been a part of ones getting through. I've been probably through more that have been involved in the wrecks, but it makes you feel like you're in Days of Thunder, or you're maybe a better driver than what you are when you do get those crazy in-car shots. And we've seen some dandies there, especially I think Vincent earlier and Indalcato here right now. But So far, you made that prediction right before we went green, Matt, that this might have been the calmer half, but by the little bit of green flag action we just seen, I don't know if that's the case.
Damian did not waste any time going under Dallas. That's one thing I noticed. Damian was pretty fast in that first half, but just got shuffled back. There's a lot of fast cats up here, and I don't think anybody's going to be wasting time trying to get the one up on each other.
And Damian running like the little demon there, little devil trying to make it 3 wide as we go back to green flag racing. Dallas Myhan getting a good jump here going into turn number 1. Maybe that will spread this pack out up front just a little bit more as Rawls trying to get that run on the outside out of turn 2.
Beers got quite sideways there. He's all right, though. Almost grabbed the wall.
And almost seen the 26 of Myhan shut the door on his teammate Rawls coming out of turn 2. But so far, everyone's staying green. We got a green flag lap in. Check the onboard of Zach Evans, who's in 24th. Just quickly, as we are in the 3-wide TV multicam. There's this. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, these things look quite uneasy. There's a happy ground in the middle of track temperature. If it's too hot, it's too slick. If it cools down, it's better. But the track is only 79 degrees right now. That is quite cold. At the start of these runs on fresh tires, these guys have been really, really unsteady.
Yeah, this is so far shaping up to be what could be. I don't want to jinx it. Oh,
and you
never
jinxed
mind.
it.
Yeah, and it did.
Hardly got it out.
Oh, man, and Indocado cannot avoid contact this time, as it looks like the 4-car of Indocado and Zach Lynch getting together, bringing out our second caution of the half here. Oh, weird. Tefe maybe making contact, and Indocado nowhere to go.
Yeah, nothing to do with it.
Looks like not too much damage by any
Wow.
cars there.
You know what? I think Indocado jumped on the brakes in time, and the impact, if you look at the impact, it was actually really minor. I hardly see anything. He jumped on the brakes here. Watch.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's hurt.
Wow!
Oh, that was
right
disaster
there.
averted. That right there was the only dent that you see.
I mean, maybe a new wrap for that car after this race. You know, maybe. Tore a little of the sticker off. I think that's scuffed it a little bit. But
That's not
maybe
going to hurt him.
No.
He's down pit road to fix it either way, but it's not going to hurt him that much.
Yeah, and he might not know exactly how bad that or lack thereof damage there was on the race car.
Missed his pit box.
Yeah, maybe not expect. Well, I suppose
he backed up into it.
Half number 1, you know, he was up towards the front pit stall. So here in half number 2, a totally different spot where he's maybe not used to. And wow.
Speaking from experience, yes, I've had my races. I qualify like 4th run up there, and then wreck late, and then I'm like, I go down pit road, and I'm like, oh, there goes my box, because I forgot. I don't have the 4th box. I have the 24th box.
I did see that with a teammate at a road course, and we weren't sure where our pit boxes were. One of those where you share the pit boxes, so we couldn't really decipher where our pit boxes were. And I was already wrecked out, just sitting on pit road waiting for my car to get fixed. And to watch him try to find his pit box was, you know, not gonna lie, kind of comical. But yeah, it does happen. But it was probably like a moment Indocado had there where you pass it like, uh-oh, gotta back up. Hopefully I see it again. And as we've seen right on the screen there, right before Indocado came off pit road, just barely avoided going a lap down there.
You know, and that's fixing damage is always such an interesting thing when you get it, especially at these short tracks. It's just downright impossible. I mean, when you're at the back end of the field and you come down pit road to fix damage, the pace car is already half a lap away from lapping you, and half a lap here is a quarter mile just about. So I mean, that's why I think we saw it in the first half. With Vincent Isabella, he had considerable damage to fix. He got that lap back, but he went down pit road and stayed there and intentionally went another lap down again. Because if you can stay on pit road and fix damage for a whole lap, that's a lot of damage fixed. But if you keep on coming back down from the tail end of the field, you're not going to fix much.
Yeah, you maybe get what almost a normal pit stop, or maybe a throwback pit stop in maybe like 18 to 20 seconds. You know, especially fitting here for North Wilkesboro, but what could be fitting here tonight, you know, we've seen Kean Rally in the 11 car lead the whole half number 1, but if we can get Dallas Myhan You see him stay up front for all this half. That'd be kind of cool too. We see a lot of the throwbacks out for him tonight, and what a way if he could get cap this off with a victory. We'll see if he can get it done as the green flag is back out. Another good jump by that 26. As Rawls, though, he's driving it deep in the corner on the outside. See if he can get a good run and make a battle for the lead. And, Rawls, he painted, I think, a lot of those throwbacks, if not all of them. Oh, boy, it's Beers. Oh, almost contact here. It's thick as thieves here from second on back right now.
Yeah, it looks to me like Seth maybe backs up his corners a little bit more, and Austin almost ran. We've got a caution here.
The caution. Oh, Cooper Johnson. Just a little contact there with Scott Nicky that likes to Fanic throwback as well.
That was a sound. Your little squeak.
I was hoping it wasn't going to happen. As we'll see, there could maybe been.
There's two separate incidents. Hey, I think Cooper and Scott Nicky, both just kind of lost it. Both of them.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Oh, Gilberto going. Oh, nice save by Gilberto. Oh, and see, that makes more sense with Scott Nicky. He was in the grass trying to save his car the whole time, and it was almost an inconvenience for him that the 91 was there sliding himself.
This is an interesting one. I mean, we at Bristol, actually. We saw at Bristol, didn't we? Two of the guys up at the front of the field kind of just lose it in the same corner.
Synchronized spinning it.
Maybe there was rain.
Yeah, I think Vic added the rain to iRacing before iRacing did.
Like a certain cup race we all may or may not have watched lately.
Yeah.
For the record, I would love nothing more.
Oh,
then to add rain to it?
Could you imagine last week's race with rain?
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to.
It would have been amazing.
It would have been fun. Well, Vic is always Team Chaos, so, gotta love it.
I never considered it. Now they've got rain tires in NASCAR now. It's a possibility.
Yeah, don't overdo it. Just a light little drizzle, and put these guys to the test. Especially I think when we first see it, I think guys got to do it like on a Watkins Glen.
No, the track
course,
has to be drenched.
Drenched in Nürburgring. Let's do it. So right now,
you don't know it, but you are foreshadowing the future right now.
Oh boy!
Good job, Goody. Good
We'll
job.
look back on this one day.
When they add rain, we're gonna have a Nürburgring race in the rain, and it's gonna be all your fault. And then I'll have you to blame. Just like I had Adam Peeler to blame for the '87 race earlier.
If that happens, Vic, I'm going to sponsor that race, and it's going to be that picture we might have made for a pit sign for somebody. It's going to be my logo for that race.
Yeah, you should
I know that
show, you should show Vince's pit board.
Oh man, yeah, we got to see if I can pull it up here quick under caution. So Matt, take it away. I'll be here. Don't be afraid.
You want me to show the picture?
Oh, you have it?
I can pull it up.
Oh yeah, Carlos, if you can pull it up, and this will be the logo for the race.
Give me a hot minute.
Or we might have to wait for the next yellow as we are going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. Dallas Myhan still holding on to that lead. Seth Rawls, we've seen him get some pretty good runs on that outside. We've seen Austin Beers. There it is. That's the logo for the race. Yep. Anger.
It's going to be in the thumbnail?
Yep. That's going to be, it's going to be the, I don't know what it's going to be named yet. We have time.
Start here on lap 21. That's what it's going to be.
Yep, restart in lap 21. A great start for Seth Rawls on the outside, and we have a new leader potentially coming out of 2.
Yeah, he's going to get that run off. He'll have the edge on Dallas as we go in, but if Dallas leaves that bottom open, Damian is not afraid to take a peek there.
And now driving hard.
There he goes. 3 wide for the lead.
Oh, 3 wide. Oh,
hanging on to it.
They make it work, at least this time. Myhan stays to the lead on the outside. Rawls trying to get that outside line running. Beers moves back to the inside behind Damian. And now, in that Carl Edwards throwback, he's driving with a lot of range.
Contact!
Oh, Myhan goes around.
Where?
Caution.
A lot of cars spinning.
Oh, man.
think he collected all the Dallas My Hand throwbacks.
Oh my goodness, that was terrible. Oh man. Oh, contact even after I believe Dewar and Rogers get together, as it was a parking lot in the grass. Man, oh man, oh man. That was about as wild as we've seen it here tonight.
First thing I noticed is Dallas My Hand collected all of his throwback cars in that one.
Yeah, it was, maybe trying to be a little modest or just trying to. I think he was trying to pinch Damian down.
Gonna give his guys a night off.
Yeah, he's like, you guys, the old man's got this. My hand's got this. Does lose some track position. Actually, now down pit road.
Take a look, see what happens.
I think he might. I don't know if Damian was high up the track. I think Dallas might have driven into his door.
Yeah, I think he was trying to pinch him down the racetrack.
Yeah,
Damian was going to go a little bit lower.
Up.
Yeah,
it was a fairly regular line there through the corner by the 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I at first thought it was Leininger, but it just seems like 26 just came down to him just a little too much.
And even Kean Rally getting spun around there on the bottom as well. So it was about 90% of the Dallas My Hand throwback cars getting involved in that one. You hate to laugh at him, but what a wild. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
And to be honest, it's the only reason I noticed them all is it's the team owner aspect. I'm like, oh, there go all my cars. But I can't be upset about it because I'm in the booth here. But after the race, I'll be like, Dallas, what the? No, not really, but.
Not to single you out, they're in the middle of all your cars is the car I co-own there in the 32, so.
Oh, you get to watch him wreck too.
Yeah. Ooh, he made Zach Rogers jump with a little weird contact.
What do we see here?
This is on board of Damian.
No, yeah, it shows the wrong guy for some reason. It's been doing that today. I don't know why.
This is the 39 of Jordan Tarble.
Oh, this is gonna be.
Oh,
he crushed his beans.
Did he crush his beans, or did Peeler get in the back of him, not anticipating the...
That's a good
question. Might have helped him.
Oh, that might be crushing the beans.
No, he didn't crush his beans. Somebody else crushed his beans.
Gutierrez said, no beans for you.
I think a lot of drivers had their beans crushed here.
Stop choosing the wrong person.
And that's the thing where, for Gutierrez here in the 16, probably didn't see how bad or if the wreck quite happened yet. And yep, getting into the 39, and they delayed the green here as we're I think getting ready to go back to green.
That means more in-car cameras.
One more in-car, or at least a couple more in-car cameras we have a shot. Indo, how did he get through this?
Did he?
Oh no,
not really.
But I think it still counts. So I think can we officially mark down that every one of the Dallas My Hand throwbacks got in there?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I think Gilberto's 7th right now. I'm going to say Gilberto did not.
But did he make that contact there? I don't know.
Only thing I know for sure is the top 5 has changed drastically now. Re-enter Caden Tufts and Cameron Ritz, 2 guys that were strong. I think you can. I mean, I'm not so sure about Dylan and Tom because we didn't see them as much in the top 5 last race, but I think out of this top 4, you could pick any one of them to win this race.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, a good show here for the rest of the way out. Yeah, and it's getting pretty dark here. It's late at night. You see the sun setting. And this time, the leader of Damian Leininger choosing the outside lane. See how that pays off for him. And, he's going to get a good jump. Wow, that paid off very well for the first time tonight. I think we've seen a leader take the outside lane. Oh, boy.
Already? Oh, wow, on the restart, huh?
Yeah, it didn't even get, I think, all the way through the gears there before.
I think Robert Hill might have shipped him.
Oh!
Ooh.
There's something else that happened here.
Was that just, there's 2 things going on. Was
that 2 incidents?
One looked like maybe netcode from that angle, but I couldn't quite make it out.
No, there was, I think a little netcode was involved, but he was absolutely going to hit him.
Yeah, there was netcode, but there was for sure going to be contact.
This is John Lynch spinning around. no contact, but I believe the Carpenter wreck was something kind of totally different there.
Totally different incident.
So Damian Leininger still holding on to that lead. And how about Adam Peeler in the top 10 as well? Adam Tepe, who started shotgun in the field half number 1, worked his way up to 19th, but he's right now currently scored in the 9th position.
Lots of run, or a good run tonight so far for him.
Yeah, and then Timothy Conrad as well, who last half was beaten and bruised. I believe still came home right around that 18th position, sitting in the 7th spot. We've seen what happened to Dylan Thomas as well. Currently scored in the 6th spot. Thomas Capuano.
A lot of guys that didn't quite. Well, I guess Capuano did score a top 10, but good to see some guys who weren't quite as fortunate in that first half, like Adam Tepe.
Even guys right outside that top 10 as well. You look at Ray Bracey, Kynan Jones, David Westergreen. Yeah,
David Westergreen.
I mean, we've seen his half number 2 not even start off that great, and
no.
Yeah, he's currently sitting in that 13th spot. So, man, he could be. I mean, I'm sure he wants more than 13th, but as of right now, just the turnaround for his night so far, it's trending upwards right now. But again, we still got a lot of ways to go.
Oh, it's far from over.
Yeah, a lot of things can definitely happen.
I think, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, this top 5, it would not shock me by the end of the race if we see a couple more of these guys even in the top 5, top 10 cycled back to the back of the field. It's just been the theme all night. I mean, if you've just been watching the racing at all, even when they don't hit each other, it is unbelievably close just how tight these guys are and how the margins for error are just so slim. I mean, it's incredible to me at the top 10 that they don't hit each other more. So, I mean, we are far from over in deciding the winner of this thing.
Yeah, and, you know, we see Damian choosing that outside line once again, and what a great restart we had. But, you know, if he slips up, spins those tires one time, we've seen how aggressive it was between two teammates in Seth Rawls and Damian, or Dallas Myhand, as we get ready to go back green. So that anything can happen, as we could see this happen right now. Damian gets another good jump on that outside. So far, so good.
I have to wonder with the outside. I think maybe 1, there's more grip up there, and 2, maybe it's better to pull somebody with you to that outside lane, because that outside lane's not as good in the side-by-side battling. Maybe it just makes the guys behind you battle more, too.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beers and Rich.
Oh, back corner.
Watch him.
Oh, Westergreen. Oh, man, we announcers jinxed him. Yep.
Yeah, he got turned there, it looked like, by Alex Kenton.
Don't back up too soon. Oh. And I thought he was almost going to get in front of lineman. Oh, that's pace car. Ooh. I thought Westergreen's front end was getting torn off there.
I think Indelcado might have an interesting onboard.
Ooh,
but we'll look at the wreck first.
There's a contact between Kenton and the 9. The 14 car driving it in deep on that bottom side, getting into the 9.
And it looks like Neil Rudd kind of just spun, getting on the brakes too hard to miss it. He did minimize damage.
Separate. Oh, this is beforehand. Oh.
No, it was at the same time.
Oh, it was
Neil
kind of
Rudd,
just.
yeah.
It was just synchronized once again.
You see, man, a little bit too much rear brake. What are you gonna say? He crushed his beans? Go ahead.
He crushed his beans.
I love the saying, and especially I love the way you said it, because I think that's very appropriate.
It almost sounded a little bit dejected.
Yeah, like a kid getting his candy taken away or something.
Except his beans were crushed.
Yeah.
Can we stop talking about crushing beans now?
Never. Oh, what? I didn't even notice when. I think it might have been under the last caution, but I see the 83 without a hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last caution. Vincent did lose his hood again.
So losing a little bit of home place beer sponsorship in that Michael Waltrip throwback. As Damian Leininger still holding on to the lead, I think found something. Definitely to use the outside line. Whoa.
Did Austin Beers pit? I think Austin Beers came down pit road.
Interesting. Well, we seen what he did in half number 1. I think it was right around this time. In half number 1, he worked his way up.
Austin Beers and Capuano I was trying to think of who else. Looks like he took Tom with him.
It's interesting, the strategy here, if they think at some point we're going to get maybe a few more green flag laps, but you know, again, we've seen the 19 car work his way up through the field relatively quickly, but to give up that second spot, I think
that's a gamble.
Yeah, that's asking a lot.
Peter Shirt is asking on the chat who put that chicane there.
Oh, because like three or four cars had to like weave in and out of that. I don't know. It's a new one.
Oh man! And taking the top once again, Damien calling it out here as we get one lap to go to green.
I like that lane choice a lot. It seems to be working real good for him. I think he's got more grip up there and he can power off a little bit better.
I think even the way you enter the corner once you do kind of
clear. A wider arc.
Yep, and I think just everything about it right now, it seems to be working. And I think if Damien either holds on to this lead or if anyone else does happen to overtake Damien in that top spot, I think that outside line might be the lane of choice from here on out. He's kind of showed that hand here as we are about halfway through, a little over halfway through half number 1 as we get ready to go back green. Green is out. Damien rockets on the top side, takes the lead. Cameron Rich in that second spot. How about Dylan Thomas trying to work that outside line? He might fall back into fourth as Caden Tufts now trying to work on Cameron Rich for that second spot.
Can't believe I didn't pick Caden again.
I know. Well,
did
go
you
ahead.
Pick the leader though?
I know. It's a joke.
Well, I mean, what if they battle for the lead and take each other out?
That's true. Then I'll really beat myself up. But
I know while you guys
no. Who picked Cam?
I picked Cameron Rich.
They're gonna
That's
get
looking
points.
pretty good. Although one thing I'm watching right now while we've got it panel leaders, I'm watching Austin Beers make those tires work. It's scary back there, but the guy restarted 23rd. Is this a wreck? Is he took it 3 wide? Whoa, right under it. He saved it.
He loses his front. Well, he lost it and got it back again, his front end.
Austin Beers is flying through the field.
Oh, they're wrecking.
Kept it down on the crest. Guys, Austin Beers is going to be in the top 10 here.
I think we're still green as Beers is all gas, no brake right now, working his way up 3 wide to the field.
Beers and Delicado are wrecking.
Oh, and Beers goes around hard contact. Oh, and this is the big one here. A lot of cars involved.
Man, I was watching Beers the whole way, and it looked like he was trying to pass Tepe, and Delicado was working Tepe's outside, and they were just looking for the same lane, I think. And man, what a mess there.
And you know, and I think this was the gamble that here Tepe, I think the bystanders of Delicado and Delicado is taking a peek on the outside of Tepe, and Beers is down low, and Tepe's kind of panicked, nowhere to go.
And the worst thing about it for Austin Beers, when he crossed the line there, he was 9th. In 3 laps, he went from 24th or 23rd to 9th with those fresh tires. It was going to work for him.
I'm sure he's really mad at himself now, even though it wasn't his fault. That was a racing incident.
It was not his fault. It was racing incident, but the strategy was going to work heavily in his favor there.
Well, and that's kind of the gamble with this strategy,
synchronized spinning.
Oh, again, this is freaky.
Are we sure?
Are we sure this is a sun setting or is this a full moon glowing the whole racetrack here? We see this like the 4th time.
Well, a moon doesn't glow; it reflects.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, smart guy.
Mr. Smarty Pants. But but again, the risk that Austin Beers did take to take those tires is that you're going to be working up through the field through that chaos, and that's exactly what happened. And maybe even the way, oh boy, a lot of these guys are driving. It's guys that maybe pitted, not just Beers, but just chaos of guys just trying to take every little bit that they can with those fresh tires they just took.
And you know, the worst thing is there was a lot of chaos in front of him, and he missed all of it. He was clear of it. He was up in the top 10 there. I think he just kind of got unlucky there. As far as the gamble he took, it's a high risk, high reward, and oh wow, Kenton flying in there. High risk, high reward. I think it paid off. I really think it paid off, and it turned out it wasn't somebody else's business that is going to ultimately end his bid for the win tonight. It's just unfortunate for him. I'm personally bummed. I was excited to see where that was going to go because he was passing cars left and right. Those tires, they do matter.
You think he's right behind Robert Hill there when this wreck happened, and that was in that 9th position. As you see Tepe, that's where he's running right now. And I think the worst part, he would have maybe been okay, but there's a lot of contact. And again, you know, just to note, we've seen the front end missing off that 4 car of Indelcato, who is currently being scored in I believe in the 10th position. If that car is damaged in any way, I mean, right now Kean Rally is in that 13th position. But if anything happens with that 4 car, if he's not able to perform, is he gonna drop back a few spots? But
we are up to 6 modifieds in this race now.
Yeah, this is turning into a North Wilkesboro modified race, which I believe Ryan Newman won one of those. This year. And we'll see who's going to win this one, as we got 23 laps go, going to be 22 once we hit the line.
Matthew, read the Discord message.
Okay. One moment.
And the green flag's back out. Another great jump. That might have been the best one yet for Damien. Going down into turn 1. Oh, Adam Tepe around. And a hard hit to the inside wall. Oh,
that's my teammate.
Comes in late. Oh, man. That's my teammate. That's my quarterback.
My boy.
Neil Rutt self-spun, but he didn't hit anything. That was interesting. He was going to run right into him, but look at the self-spin there to miss it when you get to it there.
I don't know if it's contact or if he started spinning before that. It was kind of hard to tell there.
That is back-to-back cautions. He's done the same thing. Thankfully,
I'm gonna call that one calculated. That one, I was gonna. He didn't run into him because of the spin.
I wonder if it's one of those things like you seen in Big Daddy where you gotta crush the can of beans just to knock down like 10 cents.
Stop talking about beans.
Discount.
No, that was like I think that was Ruderman spinning his car out on purpose to avoid a wreck in front of him, and he was like, "Mikey, did you see that?" Well, Mikey was on fire because his engine gave up.
He was the one.
We've got some interesting faces showing up here late. We've got Gilberto in the 3rd spot. We've got Kynan Jones in the Johnny Eckert Championship car 5th. Robert Hill 7th.
Mikey was at the wrong track, says Peter.
I'm at the wrong track.
I think I interrupted something.
You don't remember that Napa commercial?
There's a lot of Napa commercials.
The one where Mikey's at the wrong track.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
The one where everybody's making the meme about Chase Elliott this week.
We'll send you a video.
That commercial!
Yeah, he's talking about like the quietness of the track, how empty pit road is, and he realizes, I'm at the wrong track!
Yeah, and I sit and think, I'm at the wrong track. that was probably one of the better Michael Waltrip Napa commercials.
I love the Napa know-how song commercials.
Peter saying Napa didn't know where, but it knows how.
Hey, that's a good one. I love it.
Napa know-how. So you got the Napa song stuck in my head.
So now I sang, Matthew's saying, Carlos, when's your number going to be?
I'm not a commentator.
Oh, but we're not asking you to commentate. We're asking you to sing.
Fair enough.
Maybe later if it comes up naturally.
I think you got to come up with a song about spilling beans. Like an old folk
beans.
Of
course, beans.
Song. Yep, it's got to have something to do with beans. And if you sing, you can show the Kevin Spilling Chili meme too.
Well, here we go. These guys are about to give it all the beans as we're going to go green here with 16 to go.
Yeah, 16 to go. Damien choosing that outside line once again. And I got to wonder, is there anything that Cameron could do to negate the great restarts that Damian has gotten so far. We're about to find out.
Not this time. Not this time. He's going to get away real good this time.
Yeah, another great start, and even Caden on the outside trying to make a run to battle for that second spot. But Cameron's right on that bumper of the 12 car.
I saw Cameron do this chasing down Keenan earlier. I think Cameron just does the best getting off the corners and being with that steady foot. He gets the craziest runs off the corner from what I can tell.
Even holding off that top side run from Caden so far, but he's
Caden breaks out loose big time.
Oh, and he hangs on to it, but he burns a little bit of that right rear tire. Oh, a hard hit for Rawls.
Seth Rawls and many more.
Oh, man. And
Capiano there, and I think Neil Rutt once again is enjoying part of the action.
Yeah, and hey, how about Austin Beers back in the top 10 after some more chaos?
Austin Beers is in the what?
Yeah, 10th right now.
That's a shocker.
Well, it looks like Peeler gets into the outside wall. That might have been separate to what happened here as well.
Did Neil Rutt spin getting on the brakes again?
Did he really? Oh man. Gutierrez has got like a car I've never seen before. It looks like a little dune buggy running out there right now.
I really don't mean to single it out, but this guy's had one heck of a night.
He's got a lot of rear brake, I think, going on there.
I think he's got a little too much brake in that thing, but you know what? I'm going to be honest, he really didn't hit that much. I'm not going to say it's not working.
I mean, for a lot of the cars in the field, he's relatively not doing that bad. And there's Dallas Myhan just locking it down. Through. And Me Fine also looks a little not as fine as it did in half number 1. But I gotta wonder with some of the if we do get a green flag run, now we're kind of getting maybe low on laps. But Cameron Rich, as you said, once we kind of get these cars wound up, the way he does get off the corner, he was right on that back bumper of the 12 car. We've seen how close he was to getting that victory in half number 1. Again, he's not a guy racing out here for points. He's a guy out here for wins, and I don't think he wants to totally wipe out Damian, a guy running the full series here. But man, oh man, I think for him, he'd have to take any shot he could to try to end up in victory lane.
Absolutely, I think he would. I mean, that's the thing. You don't enter races to just, obviously you want to have fun every race you go to. But the point of every race is to win, whether you're running for points or not. So while I do think maybe he'll pull some punches in terms of desperation, I think if there's an opportunity, he will not hesitate one bit to take an opportunity. And speaking of opportunities, by the way, enter Cooper Johnson here into the top 5. He's worked his way past some traffic to run 4th now. I think he might have a say in this before it's over. He was pretty fast there in that first half before ultimately being taken out.
Yeah, and we've seen him do this before. Kind of being the master at restarts. I believe it was at Kentucky that we raced at earlier this season when he got his half win. I believe it was half 1 of the Kentucky race. Can he pull that magic here one more time? Oh, but a little disappearing action going on there.
Well, we don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need that. Got enough going on out there. So let's see now if Cameron can get a good run and stay as close as he can. I think if he can stay alongside of Damien, he's going to make a lot of noise if he got it to turn 2, if he can hang alongside with him.
Oh, he jumped it big time.
Oh, and he had to give it up, and that stacks that inside line.
And Delicato's...
there's a big wreck.
Big wreck. Kean Rowley's involved.
Oh,
I
man.
I see the 71 of Carpenter's involved.
Isabella goes around.
He spin. He didn't. Wait. Oh, he was in the grass.
Neil Rutt just keeps it straight. My dog's excited for Neil Rutt's performance there.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think Cameron Rich was just trying to anticipate it. Cameron went extremely early, and everybody else saw him go, and everybody else go. This starts all the way back at the restart. The top 4 guys on the outside lane ran into each other, every single one of them, and it was an insane stack up.
And the curious thing is that you would have thought it would have been on that inside line that got stacked up, and maybe a little bit to do. No, that was all on the outside guys. And Indelcato and teammates Key and Rally, those guys
really
both
jumped
took
in.
them.
It's probably, I'm going to be completely honest, that might be one of the biggest jumps of a restart I think I've seen in this league at least. That was a jump.
Well, and I think it just goes back to the desperation that Cameron had to try to stay alongside of the 12 car of Damian Landner.
Weren't you just talking about it right before we went green? I mean, absolutely, that's might be the root issue of that. I don't know if he's going to get penalized. He did give it back. I'm not seeing anything from race control. I think he'll be okay.
There is no penalty.
Yeah,
No
he gave
penalty.
it back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he gave it back. He'll be fine.
Man, oh man, a bad wreck there for Shift Esports though, as the guys on top of the points. This could be a big opportunity
For the Beers guys to make up some ground, do you think?
Yeah, they definitely could. Beer's now up in that 9th spot after Indelcato does that spin. And how about Kynan Jones?
Yeah, and the Eckert.
Johnny Eckert moved up 25 spots here since the start of this race, keeping that Johnny Eckert car clean. And man, you know, if you squint at it and pretend it's a 90 car, you can't tell the difference running the top 5, just being there at the end with 5 to go. That's kind of the way Johnny did it. And Kynan Jones right there, right in the top 5.
You know, for that matter, with that restart we just saw, again, goes back to the nobody's safe. Kynan Jones could end up the winner at this thing. You know, anything could happen. He could put that Johnny Eckert car back in victory lane. It doesn't really matter. Johnny Eckert shows up in an invite car. His paint scheme's on the racetrack. Something good's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good car to run. And maybe for Kynan, if he can pull off a win, that might be his car for the rest of the season. As we're going to get 1 lap to go to green. We're going to get a 3 laps to go. So is that natural? Green, white, checkered?
It's green, white, checkered. I think
Oh, yeah,
we'll have.
green,
I think
yep.
we can still have 2 more actual ones. For the field's sake, I hope we just finish it here. I'm sure they'd like that.
Yeah, I think that would be good. So we'll see what happens. See if Cameron maybe learned something from jumping the start last time. Pace truck dives down pit road. Green flag is out. Damien gets another great jump.
Caden Tufts with a good jump right behind Damien, already working the outside of Cameron Rich. That's going to let Damien pull away even more. Caution's back out.
In the back.
Oh no, and Vincent Isabella, who's been having a rough half. A couple cars through the grass. David Westergreen, I believe, lined him in the 72 there you see on the screen. Man, it was a 3 wide. Westergreen giving a shove. Who's that on the bottom? Indelcato shoving up the 72. Just a lot of contact. A lot of cars going in turn number 1.
Do we have penalties for lane changes before the line by chance? I don't know if Vic's going to come over and say anything about it, because it looked like, I don't know, because it looked to me that Indelcato dove low way before the line.
So that might be something they're discussing right now in the driver's chat of what happened on that restart. So kind of chaotic. A lot of these guys just desperado. Well, what's Ty McIntosh?
Who did you say you think cut?
Nick Indelcato was given the EOL. He has manually disconnected, but in terms of, he did jump down to that inside a little bit too early there.
Ooh, so that could, again, open the door for a points night. A rough night for Indelcato here tonight. Kind of parking the car early. Had enough of the short track tempers flaring, and he takes it behind the wall and packs his helmet and goes home.
Hey, you know, Keane's not having a great race here. 16th, more points gained for him. Cooper Johnson finished 12th in that last race, and he's running 4th here. Cooper Johnson and Kean Rowley, both respectively 3rd and 2nd in points, having big nights here in terms of cutting into that points lead, with Indelcato recording 2 straight finishes outside the top 25.
And that's one of the interesting things here of OSCA competition. You know, it looked, at all intents and purposes, that Nick Indelcato was almost going to run away with this championship, or at least the regular season championship, and now, you know, that door is opening just a little bit more here. If Cooper and maybe if he can definitely gain some more spots. And
he absolutely can.
That could put a lot of pressure on that 4-car next week as we head to, I believe, Dover.
I want to say it's Dover and then Chicago and then Nashville. I think those are our next 3 events.
Are we going to have the second running of the Ben Dover 150?
Ooh. Perhaps. I think so.
Ben Dover Stretch Initiative 150.
You gotta. I want new stretch techniques, new stretch methods, if that does happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, we look ahead to the Ben Dover race next week. Right now, we do have some stuff to settle out here in half number 2. Damian Leininger looks to be in that prime position to win it here. The outside line looks pretty hard to beat on these restarts. And it looks like
beats him again.
Great restart.
But if they can go green here, we saw Cameron Rich get really close last restart. He could have a shot here.
Gets out of turn 2. He's gaining a lot of track position, but does he have enough time? Will it stay green enough for him to get to that back bumper of the 12 car? He's there, white flag. We're going to end it here. Looks like they're wrecking on the back, but we're going to
Cameron slips up. He gets sideways.
Oh, man. Way outside wide. Now it's a battle for second between the 2 rookies as Damian looks like he's going to cruise to this victory.
Get together.
Oh!
Wide.
And it's Kynan Jones coming in for third.
Kynan Jones is getting an interview in the Johnny Eckert car.
Oh, man. Oh, Beers loses it right across the line.
Oh, my goodness.
Comes in 9th. A lot going on. Damian Leininger holds off for the win. And Beers, I think he's been tumbling. The short track kid, he's trying to take that Rocket Man nickname away from Seth Rawls. As there was a whole lot of action going on that last lap. So your top 5 is Damian Leininger, Caden Tubbs, Kynan Jones, Cooper Johnson, and Cameron Rich rounding out the top 5. Man, oh man, oh man, what a wild finish. And it looked like maybe Cameron Rich had that shot, but his rear tires just broke enough where he washed up the track, and that cost him a lot of track position.
And the incredible thing, he got in there hot and lost that, but the action wasn't over when Damian was getting away. I don't know. It looked like Caden got in there hot, got into the 91 of Cooper, sent him up the track. Cooper lost a couple spots from that, and Kynan Jones slipped right through.
Coming out of nowhere, and speaking of Kynan Jones, we'll bring him up for our 3rd place interview here. And Kynan Jones, he threw it back to Mr. 3-time Johnny Eckert, champion, 3-time champion here. And he kind of showed shades of Johnny Eckert here tonight, at least in half number 2, where it was one of those where did he come from moments. What was your view on that final restart?
Well, going into it, I knew I had the advantage on the high line. Thinking back to how the truck series went, I ended up losing out on a podium because I was starting on the inside. So I was feeling a little bit more hopeful to hopefully elevate my way into 5th. And then I believe it was the 91 and someone else, I don't exactly know who, got together, and then it just opened up. But I just wanted to at least pick up the top 5, especially after the week I've had.
Yeah, and half number 1 didn't go necessarily your way too, but I think especially coming into tonight, I believe you're in the top 5 in the points, and seeing some of the heavy hitters, Kynan Jones kind of had Kean Rally, jeez, Kean Rally having a rough night. He did finish 12th there in half number 2. And Indo Cotto having a real rough night tonight. So it's overall, I think you got to be happy with this podium finish for gain a little bit of points on that 4-car.
Oh, for sure. At least getting a couple of points, mainly in that second half with how the first race went, got involved in multiple wrecks, and then the final one really finished the car off, which meant I ended up being disqualified and finishing 30th. So to make my way and at least get a top 5 would have been a very good moment, but to finally break through back into the podium, it's bit of adrenaline going now.
Oh, I bet. And well, maybe it's a good, overall, maybe a good luck charm to run that pink Johnny Eckert throwback. Are we going to see you run that car maybe a few more races this year?
Maybe, but right now I have some sponsorship things that I need to
that's fair.
finish off first, but I will be able to have at least one race that if I want, I can return in this car for another time. But thank you to Johnny for letting me really be able to run his scheme. It was an honor, and I'm glad I was able to get a podium with it.
Yeah, I'm sure Johnny's watching the race, really proud of the run here tonight. But next week, we head to Dover, and I believe you came close doing some crazy strategies there before, and didn't quite work out your way that time. But what's kind of your mindset going into Dover next week?
Well, since the last Dover, I still haven't got too much confidence with it, but I have mapped a clutch puddle on the wheel, and even though I do have a new wheel, I have been able to map it, so I will be able to do fuel saving this time, and hopefully have some better luck and not run out 2 laps short and fall back down to 20th.
Yeah, and hopefully the better luck there. But with that, we'll let you get ready to celebrate that win. Look ahead to Dover. Any final shout-outs you want to give?
I just want to give a thank you to my sponsors of Weekend Woodsman. You check them out on YouTube, VRA, which you can check out on Twitter, VRA_league. Then also thank you to Shark Photography and Designs. It's my own company stuff, but you can check me out, and if you're interested in having some photography done of your car or league, you can contact me at OBBG_star73 on Twitter. And thank you to DJ and Johnny for bringing me onto the team. It was meant a lot, as well as John Lynch. He hasn't had the best of seasons, but I know he has the pace and just needs to find some luck. And thank you to you for broadcasting and viewers for watching.
Before we let you go, too, I think you got to tell John Lynch that, what would give him better luck is if he actually ran a throwback tonight.
Well, yeah, maybe, but can't run it every week.
That's true. That's true. But all right, kind of, we'll let you go celebrate that podium finish here tonight, and hopefully we'll see you up here next week after Dover.
Hopefully. Take care.
You bet. Kind of Jones coming home in 3rd place out of nowhere. Awesome run there for the number 73 machine. But up next, we'll have Matthew interview the old young buck coming in 2nd place, Caden Tufts. What a night for him.
Yeah, Caden bringing home the Weekend Woodsman car in their sponsored race here, bringing it home 3rd and 2nd. 2 interview-worthy finishes in the 1st and 2nd halves. How did that go for you?
The first half, I was struggling to keep the car from getting loose on me, so I made a little bit of adjustment after that race. But I mean, we were still having a solid run in the first race there. But I mean, the second run, I tried putting way more front brake into it, and I think I put way too much. And I tried adjusting it in every single lap into 3 or 4, a little bit into 1 and 2. The right front would lock up on me, and I was just, I thought I was screwed every time. I made it up to 3rd after that big wreck that happened. So. I mean, that was an accomplishment. And then I think it was Cooper I got into there at the last bit there. I locked the right front up, and I think I might have clipped the curb. I don't think I did, though. It felt like it did. It just yanked it, and I was trying to keep it all the way to the left, but it ended up getting into him. So apologies to him. But other than that, yeah, it was a pretty good race.
And despite the car conditions and track conditions apparently necessitating adjustments for you, you did spend a lot of time up front all night, and therefore, we got to watch a lot of the guys that stayed up front, run up front, and I personally thought you were one of the more steady-handed drivers of tonight. I didn't really see you kicking out sideways as much, but even for how that went for you, what was the track like there out tonight? We saw guys slipping and sliding all over the place, and were the tires really degrading all that much? Because it definitely started to look sketchy late in the going.
I've been around short tracks since I've actually hopped on iRacing. Like that's been what I've been around for like 3 years almost now. But yeah, so I'm pretty used to a track like this. I had this track since it first came out. I've been running laps on it. I don't even know how many laps on this I have. So I'm pretty used to how this track reacts to all the track conditions and pretty much all the cars except a few of them. Maybe that like an odd one, like maybe these cars, a truck, a cup car, or something like that. But other than that, yeah, I run the super late model series. That takes quite a bit of throttle control at some tracks, so that helped me out a little bit here with the throttle control, because I learned you can't just mash it in practice, and because it would just spin you right around. So I think it was more just trying to keep as consistent as you can with the throttle and just trying to keep it from getting loose on you.
And a very good job at that you did tonight. I do have to wonder, the third and second place finishes will help you a lot in the points and your chase standing. Do you take this momentum into Dover, and does that help you out?
Dover, I don't really know how I'm gonna perform there. I'm not a big like NASCAR track guy, so I'm only used to tracks like this, like I said. But I mean, Dover is a pretty tricky track. I used to run a lot of the NASCAR stuff, so I got a little bit of experience on it. But I'm not too sure how I'll do there with this pretty stout field we have here. So we'll just see how it all plays out and go from there.
Let's say this much, throttle control there is just about as important as anywhere else, so I think you might have a pretty good chance of being back up here and talking to us there next week. But before you go tonight here, Caden, do you have any shout-outs to give, anyone to thank for it?
Yeah, the big one I'd like to thank is Weekend Woodsman. You can check them out on YouTube there. They done a lot for me here on this league, and in other leagues. They like to talk to me and help me out a little. Even though I usually am decent in the field, they still always are there when I need it, so shout out to them. There's also Timberley Beverage Room, Bradwater Mortgages, LVT Pallets, Guysborough Transfer, JDM Broadcasting, A-Rod HVAC, Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing, Premier Racing Setups, and I mean, you guys for putting this live stream on. I really appreciate it.
All right, Caden, thanks for coming up here talking to us. Thanks for running and putting on a show out there tonight. Congratulations again on the double podiums tonight. Hope to see you back up here next week.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, Caden, very much. Caden, driver of the 00 Weekend Woodsman, bringing home third and second tonight.
And next up, we'll bring up the winner of half number 2, and it's Damian Leininger.
Carlos picked him.
Carlos picked him, and I'm excited for you, Damian, but I'm a little upset that you had to do it when Carlos picked you and not when I picked you.
Carlos, throw the party up there. Throw it up there.
Das Boot Party.
Yeah, there you go. Got the party going.
Oh man, he's got a rager right now.
Oh, it's awesome, man.
Man,
got the duck in victory lane.
Oh man, why did you put the duck in
Goody,
victory lane?
I'm sure this is you right now after you've more than likely for sure lost the points lead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Show him spilling the beans.
Yep, that's
Spilling
exactly
the beans.
There it is.
Oh, the chili, but yeah.
I may have lost the points lead though, but I think Damian has definitely made it. I think it's going to be really tight between us three going next week into Dover. But
if you look in broadcast chat.
Oh, we got.
Oh, what do we got?
We have our
in the
already up
broadcast
there.
chat.
Wow, we are all 5 points apart.
Wow. I'm still just by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Hold on. Let me
We're
put it up
basically
on
back
here.
at ground zero.
But, while Carlos is putting that up there, I mean, not to overshadow the fact, Damian, that you put on a awesome performance tonight. You look like you had pretty stout speed here in both halves. There you see the standings. Look how tight that's going to be going next week into Dover. Man.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned when we talked last week. I mentioned short tracks are where I like to be, and I came into North Wilkesboro. I didn't feel comfortable right away. It was a little looser on entry than what I'm used to, and got used to it there. And I've never been a great qualifier, so I didn't want to push it enough and not cost myself a good starting spot. And then at the you just never got a good enough run. I mean, I felt I was probably right there with Kian and them, but you could just never get a long enough run to let something play out. He'd get a jump, and then we'd reel him in a little bit, and then he would pull away, and it just, you never got an actual opportunity to see where we all laid that way. And then coming to the checkered there, I got pushed back to, I think it was 6th or something, and ended up starting 3rd in the second half, and then was racing with Dallas and Seth. Thought I passed Seth like 3 times, had to jump back every caution back behind him again. And then I was close racing with Dallas. I still haven't got to see what happened there into turn 1, and I know I entered a little bit hotter and I was a little half lane up, so I don't know if I made contact with him or what it was, but if I did, I'm sorry. But it's just one of those where you never got a long enough run to see where you could really stack out overall.
One thing you did figure out tonight, Damian, and we might not have had as many leaders as we normally see here in OSCA competition, but you were the only guy to choose that outside line on the restarts, and it looked like something no one had anything to combat you with that. What kind of led to that decision, or what did you see that kind of led you to choose that top line as the leader?
Well, where the pace car pulls off, you're still, if you're on the bottom lane especially, you're still turned with the wheel, and you're turned a lot more. And if you try and, if you're in second gear, which you need to be as a leader, if you try and throttle down right away, there's a high probability chance that you're going to spin the tires and wreck yourself or not get a good run. I liked going to the top because you can kind of arc it up, and then you can get more of a straight line off and are able to put the power down more. One time I didn't get that straighter line, and I almost spun it right in front of the entire field. Luckily, Cameron was back a little bit, or I would have, went right across his nose and into the inside wall, and it would have caused a whole melee. But I just felt like the top lane, you got a straighter launch, and you were able to put the power down more and get you a little bit extra of a gap, and it's also harder for the cars on the inside, or at least on the front row, to be able to see to the right. To see where the car's at on your outside. If you're on the inside, they can kind of gauge it a little bit more. It's easier to see if you guys are even. And that outside, you can kind of get a better jump, and also, with being able to put the power down and get that little extra reaction time difference. So I felt would be a big difference.
Yeah, and it did pay off all the difference on those restarts, because it even looked like that. He had some fast guys, behind you here on some of these restarts. Cameron Rich, it looked like maybe if he got some long runs, he had some speed up there as well. Caden Tufts, we just talked to him. He looked smooth all night as well. But Lass, you did come away with this victory, and it's got to feel good. We talked to Kian Rally that he finally broke into victory lane, and now that takes a little bit of that pressure off. And next week, David, we head to Dover, and now getting that win under your belt, and especially having a good points night with a guy like Indelcado having a rough go of it here tonight. I think things got to be trending upwards in that confidence department heading into next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough start to the season in general, points wise, and just I think we're gonna have a good little run of tracks. I liked Spa; it raced really well. North Wilkesboro, I knew. Dover's a track I notoriously love as well. I don't know if I'll have the winning speed there, but I always feel pretty confident I can run, within the top 10. And just being able to try and rebound, after the first couple weeks, I was, I think, 35th or 36th in points or something like that. And I know I'm a lot better of a driver than that, and just trying to rebound that way, but not feel the need to go above and beyond what I'm capable to do that night. If you're able to finish sixth, just finish sixth. There's no need to try and get third that night. And I think that's something that I've tried to work on recently is, just take what you can get. And even if you think you should have a better night, just don't compound that and make it worse than what you can do. And hopefully moving forward, I know Indelcado had a big lead, and maybe this will kind of bring him back to the pack a little bit, but there's still a lot of work to do. This win, sure, it's fun, but I also don't feel like I really went out there and dominated and earned the win the right way. It was a lot of cautions, and it was just restarts and playing games on them and just keeping off balance. I need to go out there and I need to run with Indelcado. I need to run with Beers. I need to run with Key, and I need to run with the top guys out there and beat them fair and square up and head up for a win to really feel confident about what we're doing in the 12-car camp.
Well, it's definitely a good start to at least get that victory in and give you that confidence to battle with those guys moving forward here. But before we let you head out and celebrate your victory, any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to the Batflip Podcast. It's a baseball podcast. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Need to shout out to South Shore Racing, David and Adam. I know they struggled in the races tonight, but they were there and helping me through some things that I was going through and questions I was having about through the field. And Vic for putting this league on, Carlos Goody, Bayuk for broadcasting this, giving us a place that we can have a fun race and go back and watch it. And special thanks to the Duck, because I know that's just gonna rub Goody the right way. Gave the Duck, ran P2 with it last time I brought it out, and was able to put it into victory lane tonight. So always fun to have the Duck up there.
Damien, it's not so much the Duck. I feel bad for the Duck because the Duck's cool. It's the guy who drove the duck car back in the day.
That guy's really good too.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, he was good, but he had a steroid problem, and
who doesn't? I mean, we're calling Barry Bonds a Hall of Famer, and he
What, is he gonna grip the wheel harder?
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, who doesn't?
I don't think that's getting enough attention.
Have you not?
No.
Oh well, you should try it one time.
Yeah, why do you think I'm so ripped and buff, man?
Exactly.
If you've ever seen Damien, you would know that he also hasn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I'm nudes just for that.
Look, this is why we are a computer-based game, and you can only hear my voice, and I don't have a face cam.
Yeah,
Say whatever I want.
And the Damien that everyone, if you had the pleasure of seeing, quote unquote, the real Damien, it's not the real Damien.
I'm gonna call it pleasure.
Would put him.
Oh, wow.
Even when he wins the race.
I would compare him to some of the greats, like maybe even like a Barry Bonds or a Mark McGwire or Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Pretty comparable.
Pumping iron all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mark
why
Henry.
do you think he
Definitely not like the Big Show. Yeah.
And it's why he got through the gears very well tonight, and why he's here in Victory Lane.
Yeah, you got to be able to slam them into gear. This isn't. We don't have a sequential right here. We gotta slam them into gear here. Take some strength.
All right, David, you got to gloat on yourself a little bit, get the shout outs, and
there it is.
best of luck to you. Were you kissing the biceps there?
Oh no.
I was wondering what the hell that was.
Definitely not kissing the biceps there.
He was.
I don't know if I believe him.
Well, have to work for it.
We'll let you and your biceps.
A weird interview.
This is the best interview in OSCA history.
Yeah, it might be. We thought It's Coming Rome was awkward. Kissing the biceps for Damien's his new thing.
A tradition's got to start somewhere.
Yep, and hey, here we are.
North Wilkesboro just came back, and so did the bicep kiss.
Oh, and
wow, we're getting the Johnny Eckert treatment.
Wow,
there it is. There it is.
Well, congratulations on the win tonight here, Damien, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you. Maybe we'll make it even more awkward next week at Dover.
Yeah, maybe we'll get 2 bicep kisses in next week. So,
oh God.
thanks guys for putting up with us tonight. I know it was a little rough, but you guys always do a great job.
All right, thank you, Damien. We'll get him out of here before he starts kissing his biceps again. I'm panicking right now. All right, there he goes, and there you see the final results. And Matthew, before we head out, any final thoughts?
Had a lot of fun tonight. Maybe we had a little bit more carnage than we were probably hoping for. That's for sure. Vic's definitely going to need a couple or maybe 12 aspirin to get through doing his penalty sheet for next week. But had a lot of fun with you guys up here watching the battles. There was certainly some exciting racing, all the throwbacks. It's always a good time. And on to Dover next week. Should be a little bit of a cleaner show.
Yeah, I think we definitely look forward to a lot of the points battles heading into, if it's the Broadcasters Championship, the Drivers Points Championship will tighten up a little bit as well. And just to know,
that was not as important.
Not as important, no. But before we head out, Vic, if Damien offers you any pills, it's probably not aspirin. So, just to forewarn you,
maybe
there,
it's some Claritin.
He has nothing to worry about. He's not the one that has anything coming to him.
Ooh, you might want to drug test him though. Just
I
forewarn
mean,
you.
Sure, maybe.
Sure, maybe. All right, but with that, it was a fun night here tonight, and hopefully we'll have that same fun next week at Dover, right here on 3 Wide TV. Be sure to tune in for round number 6 next week, right here, same place, same time. Until then, good night now.